Sister Secret, I see you up in here. I've been missing you on the space, Sister Secret. Secret Sister, I'm sorry. I've been missing you out here on these spaces. Been wondering where you've been. And then for everybody else in the room, man, much love to everybody.
No doubt on that, Professor. We appreciate you coming up. And anybody want to come up and speak, and holler at Secret Sister, she about to spill the beans. But just to get back to you real quick, Ray, I think Jack Johnson was the first person they used that man act on. Because, he was knocking out these white dudes and taking their women. So you already know we're going to have to come up with some type of idea to lock this nigga up. You know what I'm saying? Because we can't beat him. You know what I'm saying?
I think it was some white boys.
I'm sorry.
Oh, my bad. I was going to say, I think it was some white cats that they talked about using it for, but they never really did. But Jack Johnson was the first notable person that they actually got with that. Like, yeah, you're right, because, he's with the white women. He's beating up white dudes and whatnot. He's a heavyweight champion. He's talking noise. So, yeah, it was pretty much targeted for Jack Johnson, of course. But Secret Sister... Oh, go ahead, Ray. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I just want to correct myself. It was called the White Slave Traffic Act of 1910, not Fugitive Act. So it's the White Slave Traffic Act of 1910. What we know it more known today as the Mann Act.
Absolutely.
And you would be correct, Ray. Sorry, Nick.
Secret Sister, we definitely I want you to definitely share with the room some of the stuff that you know. Just give them a little run on your background. Let everybody know exactly, and give them like a kind of rundown of some of the stuff that you know about.
Okay, first I want to say thanks, Newstoter, DJ, Ray, Pearl, Professor. Thank you. And thanks for everybody that did attend. I didn't think that it would be a lot of people because, of course, as Black people, we are opinionated people and we are easily swayed. My first thing that I want to say is about me. I'm retired now, but I am a homicide detective, also a government agent. Everybody knows that for my Black people, but I infiltrate. And I took on this case because when I first heard it, that they picked him up. First of all, let's call it a kidnapping. Okay, he has yet to be read his rights. Okay, so his due process has been fucked over from the beginning. Okay, and I've talked to him. He's been really. I'll say it like this: he feels like he did when he was on Gayle King, and he says, Malika, yes, that's my name, Malika. Why is it that I sit and I'm tired. I can't even get sleep because I want to make beautiful music for my family and my friends. That's what he calls us. He loves his fans and supporters more than he loves his family. His family has turned their back on him, his kids, his wife, and this is a man now that is just there. Nobody tells of the accolades that he has given to society besides the music, the things that he has done in Chicago. We are Black. And one thing about it is we first got to recognize one thing. When Aaliyah said age ain't nothing but a number, back in my day, that is true down to the word. Okay, we never gave a damn about age, so it was nothing for a 15-year-old to be with a 21-year-old. Nothing. That didn't mean anything. Both parents agreed, everything. Had kids, everything. Okay, now back in my day, was nothing for you to be married at 12. So my thing is the very colonizers did not want to put my black brothers away for something they taught us. I refuse.
Secret sister, let me just say one thing for you going, sister. I just want everybody in the space to know that we're not sitting up here as Newstoter. We're not sitting up here saying that age doesn't matter in terms of consent. So we just want to let everybody know that we're not sitting up here. We're not saying that age does not matter legally. So I just want that to be known that the opinions and thoughts shared tonight are not that of exactly of Newstoter. This is a space, an open platform, so we are just letting everybody know that the thoughts and opinions that you hear tonight in this space are not that of Newstoter. You may go ahead, Secret Sister. DC, we're going to get to you as well, too. We're going to let Secret Sister just give us a little bit of info, and then we're going to get to you, brother.
Okay, and you are correct. Maybe I should put more emphasis on that. What I mean is we're talking about these young girls because we all know, okay, realistically, we all know women mature faster than men. A 15-year-old woman is equivalent to a 21-year-old man, and he still might be immature. But what I mean, first of all, R. Kelly has never been a pedophile. Okay? Pedophilia is 13 and below. All right? He's never been with a 13-year-old. R. Kelly's never married Aaliyah. It was a publicity stunt done by Aaliyah's uncle and R. Kelly's manager. And it's in transcripts. And if anybody wants to get the transcripts, I can always send them to you. Just give me your email. And when you read from the first case, now we're on the second case. But let me tell you a little bit about how he's doing, okay? R. Kelly, first of all, he received all his masters. They are now, we took them and put them in a nice, cool place where they could be safe, okay? And I'm talking about it's almost as big as a football field, okay? And
Sister, before you go on, because I know this is going to kind of be a little long, let DC go ahead and ask what question he's got to ask, and then we're going to come right back to you.
Oh, okay? I didn't even see nobody. I was looking up. I apologize.
No problem. DC, go ahead and unmute your mic.
I was just gonna say R. Kelly's the king of R&B, which second to I guess Usher or maybe D'Angelo. If D'Angelo put out more material, I would make the case. So R. Kelly, Usher, and then D'Angelo. His career, he had a wonderful career on his life. I mean, as far as I actually kind of agree with Secret Sister in that regard. The parents, what we looked up, I guess the parents was given, I guess, the young girls away. There's a lot of fast girls out there as well. I'm gonna probably I'm gonna kind of say what Riley said off the Boondocks. I see piss, I moved. She saw piss, she stayed. So why should I miss on the next R. Kelly album for that? That's all I'm gonna say.
No doubt. Because Secret Sister, she's got some stuff she want to say, so we're gonna let y'all kind of get your hands in right now. Ray, you got something you want to add in as well? Secret, we're gonna get to you, so just keep that thought. Don't lose it.
Just a really quick side comment I wanted to throw in. So we talk about kings of R&B. Yes, R. Kelly's name is in there. But we can't disrespect Bobby Brown. His name is definitely got to be thrown into the king of R&B conversation along with D'Angelo and I believe you said Usher. So I definitely wanted to add that little side note.
No problem.
Well,
Melrose, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Chicks, cop, whole bricks. Yeah, I want to join the conversation, but I want to say, I know you said that everybody's entitled to their opinion, but in a situation like this with one of our brothers and just us in general, I live by the saying, if everybody is entitled to an opinion, who's entitled to the facts? And everybody
I have the facts. That's what I'm going to give tonight. I was one of the investigators. So if anybody has a question for me, you can ask me. And Newstoter, DJ, I did send them a few things already that should have probably the Newstoter. What did you think of the videos and what the information I sent you? What did you think?
It was some stuff. It was some stuff. You would probably have to share it. We can get in the jumbotron tonight, so everybody can see it and pretty much share their opinion or form their opinion about it. Melrose, I know you had something to say, so go ahead, and then we're gonna get you because we definitely want Secret Sister. She has the actual experience in investigative research and everything else. So that's why I'm trying to let everybody get their hands in, because I know if she goes on, she's gonna go for a while. So.
No, and I want them. I'm just going to give because I've been on his case for he's been in jail now for 4.5, almost 4 years. Okay, so no, it'll be almost like now I want to hear questions because I could not possibly go through it from the beginning to the end. You know what I mean?
Okay, well, no problem. We can do that. Melrose, you got something out because I know you're saying something about the opinions and the facts. So go ahead, brother.
Yeah, so like I was saying, this is a real serious situation, not just for Rob, but for all victims. And to be clear, the only victim in his case is him. None of those thoughts were victims, but just, for real actual victims of sexual assault and abuse, they need, serious platforms, and the facts need to be spoken so that, they can come forward. So, Secret Sister, if she has a lot of answers, me, myself, I attended the New York trial as well, and I began my own investigation, so I could probably help answer questions along
there
with
you
her.
Go. So there you go. Yeah, Melrose, can I ask you a question? Now, be honest.
If it's okay with the host, go ahead.
That's fine. Go ahead.
In the New York trial, because I was there in not, I was back and forth, but in the New York trial, that trial, they did not say what happened truthfully in that trial. Would I not be correct?
Well, me, myself, I did attend the trial, but I missed the first week. However, I caught the remaining 4 weeks, and I initially went in there in the mind frame that he was guilty. He was guilty of Aaliyah, or he was guilty of something. I went in there in the mind frame knowing that he was guilty. So when I attended the New York trial, I went there in the spirit of I want to see him punished. I want to see him sent away. And then, if you could remember, in the courtroom, it was basically a secret trial that wasn't broadcasted live, and they only allowed a small limited amount of people there from the public each day. So I remember my first day going. Once again, my first day was the first day of the second week of the trial, and literally 18 seconds getting into the courtroom, I hear the bitch, the government star witness, Azriel, she was on the stand. I hear like literally one question from the prosecution, and she says, I don't recall. I knew right there that this whole thing was a scam. So yeah, they were just basically doing I'm white and I say so.
Okay, because I don't want to be the only one, and I'm so glad. Melrose, this is going to be me and you, bruh. Okay, because for the New York one, because let me tell you another thing. This whole Aaliyah thing, getting married. Were you there to hear Demetrius Smith say, R. Kelly and Aaliyah knew nothing about it? It was me.
No, ma'am. Okay, Demetrius Smith, his testimony was the first week, and that's what prompted me to go there, because I was like, hey, why they not broadcasting this? And then I saw somewhere Demetrius Smith where he was like, hey, I don't want to be here. I'm testifying against my will. Because here's the thing about Demetrius Smith. Unlike all of the so-called accusers, Demetrius Smith, I don't think he was given immunity. But
yes, he was. Yes, he was.
Okay, pardon me.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I wasn't there for Demetrius Smith's testimony.
And that's one thing that we all have to pay attention to. Every person, and I'm talking about even in this trial in Chicago, everyone has an immunity deal. So keep that in mind while we talk about this, because to have immunity means you are guilty of something and you don't want to get. You understand what I'm saying? So if you're not guilty enough, what do you need immunity for? Every person has it. And people have book deals, people have movie deals, people have whatever. Now, the Surviving R. Kelly, okay, when we got into the Surviving R. Kelly, now I'm not the average kind of investigator. I don't just see what's on the surface. I like to brush, and I want to see everything. I want to see how it ticks. And when I got down to it and I seen Dream Hampton is best friends with the judge's daughter. Dream Hampton is the producer of Surviving R. Kelly. It's too many connected dots. You understand? The judge's daughter also was the executive producer. No, Dream Hampton was executive and she was a producer. They was something like that. Them two did it. Okay.
Judge Ann Donnelly, she was a federal judge appointed
and
by
she
Barack
was a
Obama.
bitch. I hate to say it, but she was a bitch. She's a bitch. And another thing, and I know you can attest to this, I've never seen so many sidebars in my life. And then the judge was actually the prosecutor. They were doing so horribly that she said, "No, wait a minute. Let me ask it. Where did that happen at?" Would I not be correct, Melrose? She was jumping in every 5 minutes.
You're absolutely right. But then another reason why he lost his New York trial is because his attorney team, they were brand new and they only had 1 week to prepare because he fired his original team.
And you know why he fired them? Because you remember when he did the we told him to fire them. And I'll send you the proof of this. You know, Doug Anton. Doug Anton was low key no, it wasn't Doug Anton. What's his name? Avenatti. Avenatti was friends with Daryl Johnson. Now, Daryl Johnson was supposed to be R. Kelly's support, like when he went on Gayle King, the black guy. Well, he's now in jail. We put his ass in jail. I hate to put my own in jail, but when you that wrong and you're taking money off of old people and all that, I'm sorry, you can't do that. He's in jail. He took this money, him and R. Kelly never received his $1 million for that interview. And that's why.
Sister, keep it right there. We're gonna get to some y'all. You and Melrose, keep it right there because, like you said, you guys, y'all are actually at the actual trial, so we want to keep you guys right here. Let us get to Fearless One, Professor Ray Smith, and we're gonna come back to you guys. So since y'all have a knowledge, the inside of how the trial was actually ran and whatnot, it was actually present. We want to go ahead and keep you guys here to speak on it almost as expert speakers. So you guys stay right there. Fearless One, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Yeah, what's going on? I want her to continue. I just had a quick question, and I'm not asking in depth of the ins and outs, but I wanted to know this right here. What was why didn't not just the question is far-fetched, but why was the two of the best of both worlds, R. Kelly and Jay-Z, how come that didn't ever get, how come he didn't get off the way it's not supposed to?
Well, I can tell you that we have now opened an investigation on Jay-Z, okay? Because Really, initially Jay-Z was with Aaliyah, not R. Kelly. R. Kelly was Aaliyah's best friend. R. Kelly can't read and write, and Aaliyah was the only one that cared enough to teach him how to read and write, and that's what got them close. People took it for something else. R. Kelly, and I'm gonna be honest, was sleeping with Aaliyah's mother. R. Kelly was shot before by Aaliyah's father because he caught them in the bed together. So a lot of people don't know that portion of it. You understand what I'm saying? He was very overprotective of Aaliyah because he's seen the innocence, he's seen her nice. But if you notice, Aaliyah was way far more mature than R. Kelly. When they did interviews, R. Kelly's a very shy person. He's real shy, very shy. And they even wanted, they even made him get naked. And we had to take photos of his body because of the tape. The reason 2008 is because, and I'm still trying to find it, his best friend finally came forward and said it was him and Lisa Van Allen. And his best friend from side view looks just like R. Kelly. And that's no lie. And except he has a mole. R. Kelly doesn't have moles. So that was how, because it was 13, not 12, but 13. In 2008, it was 13 white. It was an all-white jury that found him not guilty. It didn't have one black on there. But it's just like, it's so complex because all this.
Pardon me, sister. Let me help you out there. With the brother's question. From what I recollect, they were having conflict on tour, and then when they got to Madison Square Garden, Kels felt like the vibe was off, and then Jay-Z, his man's Tata, Kels said that Tata maced him, and then Kels left. He had to go to the hospital, and then the next that same night, Jay-Z called up and said, "Yo, this nigga, he's wilding, he's hating. I'm in New York, they going crazy for me." And then Kels called the next day, Hot 97, by the way. This is Hot 97. They called up, and then Kels called the next day and was like, Kels didn't want to snitch, but he was like, "Hey man, I seen somebody wave a gun in the crowd, you know." And this goes back to the whole thing with Aaliyah, like she was, and that's basically how the tour ended. And then after he went to after the trial started, after things calmed down, that's when they put out the Best of Both Worlds 2.0. But let me tell you, that whole thing when Kels got pepper sprayed by Tata, and then was like, "Oh shit, I saw a gun." Chances are that nobody actually had a gun, but Kels, that
they
is
really
an
did.
R&B
No,
singer.
they did have one. No, they did. They did find out they had one.
Oh, they did have one, but that's
they said something about some mace.
Yeah, Tata maced Kels, but I say all that to say Kels wasn't no gangster to where he could be having sex with a 13, 14-year-old Aaliyah, and then you got all of these Detroit niggas and all of these Brooklyn niggas because Aaliyah's family is from Detroit and Brooklyn. He wasn't intimidating none of those Detroit or Brooklyn niggas. He wasn't intimidating them. Kels was shook. Aaliyah's uncle, that's the real gangster. He had Kels shook.
Thank you. Barry Hankerson.
Yeah, but that's how that whole thing ended with him and Jay.
There you go.
I remember that tour. They had a lot of static and a lot of beef between them because I guess they was alternating nights. So who would be the pretty much the main attraction or whatever. So I guess every other night they was switching up, changing that or whatever. You know, just you had at the time Jay-Z was the biggest in rap and he was the biggest in R&B. So you had that going back and forth. And also to get back to what you guys were saying, I know we talk about like the king of R&B, but the king of R&B also go back way to the 70s and stuff too. When we talk about Teddy Pendergrass and we talk about Luther Vandross, we talk about all of them. So the king of R&B, that goes back, that title goes back way back, even before Bobby Brown and all of the rest of them came on the scene as well too. So just to throw that out there, just just a little bit. But
and don't forget, R. Kelly pays homage to our ancestors. He sings, he sings all the unforgettable. He sings all that stuff. And don't forget, what's his name? My favorite song. I forgot his name. The one they killed, Cook. Cook. You know what I mean? And Isley, Ron Isley is his godfather. And a lot of people, what makes me mad is the only person that's actually stood up for him is K. Michelle, because he has helped her a lot with her career, and she feels as though I didn't see this stuff, and I can't stand and let them lie on him like that. But also Fat Joe had came out once before, and he came out and said, yeah, he used to have this, but I asked everybody in this room, how is it, 23 years, over 32 years later, then if he got 30 years for racketeering and RICO and the Mann Act. Now, the Mann Act specifically says black men trafficking white women across state lines. R. Kelly has never been with a white woman. He don't like white women. He's FBA all day.
Now, sis, I think the Mann Act is supposed to be just trafficking women across state lines.
It's white. Those is white.
But check that again. I think it's supposed. I don't think they put white in there. I think it's trafficking women across
no, I'm
state lines.
No, I'm talking about the Mann Act.
Yeah,
if you look it up, it's 1916 or something. 1916.
No, it's 1910.
Right,
yeah,
1910.
but it doesn't. But I'm pretty sure it don't say white in there though. I think it's just for moral
yes,
purposes.
Remember, I'm at. Yeah,
100%, Tyler, it does say white.
It say white? Oh, okay. I stand corrected, sister. I'm sorry. I stand corrected.
Hey, now I was going to say on that part right there too. Anytime you're looking up older laws, just check the revisions of the laws. You know what I'm saying? It's just like it's like a word. You might be black, but black has different meanings. You will see the criteria dating up that said word or revision of that law or legislation. But go ahead, sister.
Right.
We're gonna get back to you, sister. Let's go ahead and just let Professor and Ray go ahead, so we can get you back, you and Melrose, back into the actual into the conversation. But Professor and Ray, then you go, and then we're gonna get back to sister and Melrose.
Yeah, thank you, Secret Sister, for providing this information to us, and also to you, Melrose, man, for your input as well. I've been. It's just something about this whole thing that has been bothering me the entire time, as it pertains to R. Kelly, because we know he went through the 2008 case, and he was found not guilty, and then now some years later, here we are back with all 32. This other stuff. Yeah, 32
years later.
Yeah. So it just seemed like to me now, what has brought all of this to the limelight like this all of a sudden?
That's where I was getting to.
Okay.
It came to. Now, what brought it all? And then after I said, then you can see if that answered your question or if you could answer it. What started it all is he received all his masters. They were mad. They wanted him to continue this black curtain. Didn't understand that's some Hollywood stuff, but that's really them fucking you fucking them doing something, right? And because R. Kelly has been deemed, R&B's sexiest, you understand what I'm saying? That's where they said they would hone in on. Okay, now R. Kelly likes younger women, you understand, but he doesn't like kids. He has
keyword young women.
Right, younger women. And I have in my possession, we have over 75 to 100 boxes of just copies of IDs and NDAs. R. Kelly doesn't say hello to you until he gets a copy of your ID and you sign an NDA.
And as we can see that during his New York trial, all of those NDAs were published into the government exhibit, and they ain't mean nothing against I'm white and I say so. Continue.
Thank you. And another thing they did, let's get into this New York trial, because New York trial she gave him 30 years because it was 30 years ago. So she said for every year that these women had to be to feel any kind of way, whatever. But I have given Newstoter, DJ, Churl, I have given them some pictures of one of the young ladies. I think y'all all should know Azriel Clary. Can I get a fist or something if y'all? That was one of the girlfriends that left. That was the girlfriend that left.
Who was 17 years?
I heard the name before.
Azriel was 17 and all types of stuff.
No, actually, we found her real birth certificate. She was 18 when she got with R. Kelly, because when she was 17, but she graduated. R. Kelly sang, that's how she met. R. Kelly sang at her high school graduation. See, it's a whole...
What she said on the stand was a whole different thing. What she said on the stand. But
right.
One thing I do know is that she was 17 when they met, and her mother. Tell them that part of the story, but also don't forget to tell them the part of how her parents emancipated her.
Before you guys get to that part, because I know Ray, he's got his hand up, so let's let Ray and anybody else that may have.
While they ask the next question, could you put the letter up there? Could you put that up there where they emancipated and they actually gave? They did not sign Azriel because she was 17, but in 3 months she was going to be 18. But they signed her over to Valerie Payton, who is Clive Davis. She works at Jive Records. So, Newstoter, could you put that up in there?
You talk about the letter that you sent to me?
That letter.
Let me see if it's because I'm not sure if it's in my phone or if it's in a DM or whatever. Let me try to check and find.
I sent it in your. It's in this DM in this your inbox in here.
Okay, but also let me say this right here. Anybody that has a bearing opinion on what they're hearing tonight, if anybody has a contrasting opinion and they want to speak, by all means, request the mic. If you have opinion that you don't agree with what you're hearing right now, you're more than welcome to come up to the mic and actually speak as well too. So, but this is an open. This is just people's opinions and thoughts. So if you whatever you want to share, if you feel like that you totally disagree from what you heard right now, then you're more than welcome to get up here and actually speak and say what you feel. So on that, I'm going to go ahead and let you, Ray, and then we're going to get back to Secret and Melrose. But Ray, you got something you want to add as well?
Yeah, I just want to ask a quick question. So with R. Kelly, with that sex tape, I want to ask about it. Wasn't that tape found in his house?
No.
Okay, because I was going to ask if it was found in his house, how was he trying to say, oh, that was my friend? So that's your friend. Why you have a sex tape of your friend having sex with somebody? So
R. Kelly has, or let me tell you, R. Kelly's mansion, I have been at the mansion. Okay, R. Kelly's mansion, he has famed rooms, right? So
okay,
like
he has. When you're done too, okay, sister.
Okay, like he has that cabin room where they filmed the tape. Now, if R. Kelly's on tour, right, this is when his entourage is left behind, and they are the ones bringing these girls in, fucking them. Demetrius Smith got babies by him. All these girls got babies by people in the entourage. Did you know that, Melrose?
I knew he was taking care of women and their children, and while those women were leaving their husbands.
Right, but guess who Yeah, it was his entourage, but of course they didn't say that. No, I'm sleeping. Like, say I'm the star and you're part of my entourage, and now I'm getting ready to go on tour. You're my camp at home. So of course you're going to stay there. I have a camp that goes on the road with me, right? So that camp goes on the road with me. Now, when you go on tour, a tour ain't no day and then I'm coming home. He's gone. And they in there and they're doing whatever they want. So yes, they went in the rooms and they were doing it. But this man, this is how far back it goes. It goes back as far as way back when R. Kelly was singing in the Chicago subways. When Demetrius Smith was sent. He was sent to go get him. They followed him in school when he was doing those little talent shows. They found out he couldn't read and write, and they seen a sucker. You get what I'm saying? They seen a quick check. They said he got everything. And you figure, who better to have as an artist than somebody that can make their own music, produce it, sing it, and write it. It's a one-trick pony. So for whatever price, he's signing things that he don't know because he's too embarrassed to say, I can't read or write. Like, this is mainly just now coming to the surface. And we're trying to get a lot of those contracts. We're trying to get a lot of those contracts gone because some of those contracts are idiot proof. But he has now reached past the 30-year thing. So he goes, and me and one of the other investigators told him, as for your masters, they did. And he said, yeah, now I got my music. I said, no. You don't own it until you have your publications. They didn't give you your publications with this? And he said, what is that? So then I knew it was trouble because to this day, he doesn't have them. And they're making money off of his music. His royalties are gone. I have sent money. I sent them, I think 5. We sent them 5, right? Because he has contracted, what is that, diabetes since he's been in there. And when he did, now the first thing, let me start it right here because it's all over the place. Let me start it right here. I looked in and I was in my government files, going in my security clearance, and I found the taking down a manifesto, the taking down of R and the taking down of the black man. I didn't know what they was until I started reading it. And I said, this is R. Kelly. This is R. Kelly. And then when they kept saying ignorant this, ignorant that, and I'm like, that was because he couldn't read and write. And things started coming to me because at first I was like anybody else. Fuck him. Because I was raped 3 times. Fuck him. But I do know what a victim looks like. And these women are not victims. Not at all. In court, they sassy. They got smart ass attitudes. Azriel actually helped the defense more than she helped the prosecution because she threw her parents under the bus because her mother was the one that got R. Kelly's number and was sending pictures and texting R. Kelly back and forth as though it was her. Then her mother took her to meet R. Kelly to allegedly audition, okay? Took R. Kelly there and called the police, okay? But took R. Kelly there. Took her daughter to see R. Kelly at a hotel down there in, I do believe it was Jacksonville. He had a show. She came in there, but the one thing she kept saying is, I kept going out and saying, Mom, he don't want me. And her mother said, well, you better make him want you. She sent him back in there. See, this is stuff that people's not hearing. Did you remember that, Melrose, when she kept throwing her mom under the bus? Like, my mom kept making me go, and I said, he don't want me. You remember that?
Yeah, but and let me jump in there to help answer the professor's question about the sex tape. I remember that, and she didn't necessarily just go ahead and give that information up. That came out, of course, in another government exhibit that was revealed in the text messages between Azriel and her mother. But to speak on the sex tape and his current trial that happened these past 2 weeks in Chicago, the same way nowadays niggas got the phone down recording the bitch, the same way you record your sexual acts nowadays. Back in the day, you know, Kells was ahead of his time. A bunch of people, Eve was out here on the sex tape with Stevie J. That's what niggas used to do. They had camcorders. They would set them up, record their sexual exploitory, escapades or whatever. So Kells is out on tour. His mans and them, they in there, they getting busy in his what was it? Colorado room. Like she said,
yeah.
his mansion had different theme rooms. So they were in the Colorado room, and they made the sex tape. And the sex tape that everybody saw back in the day. And please, if you saw that tape, go ahead and send a mic. Request a mic so we could send a district attorney to your house if you saw that tape back in the day. But yeah,
let me ask a quick question before you go on, Melrose.
Yeah,
because we always said that R. Kelly, and also for you sequences, we always heard that R. Kelly used to like to hang out at the high schools, and he used to like to go to the McDonald's.
I got an answer for that.
Hold on, let me finish. That he liked to go to the high school, and he liked to go to the McDonald's where all the kids and stuff hung out at. So when you hear him saying that he pretty much hung out where he knew all the kids was going to be, and this and that, and even when you hear people start saying like the Pied Piper, like the name that he called himself and whatnot, I never really thought about the Pied Piper. Like I just thought it was just supposedly like a musical, supposed to be like some kind of great musical name. And they started breaking it down like the Pied Piper was almost like enticing the kids and this and that. When you hear all these things said about him and saying about the high school, the McDonald's that he liked to hang out with and this and that, when you hear people saying all of this, how do you refute that? Just in your own words.
During the investigation, we found the truth. The person who drove R. Kelly to the high school was Demetrius Smith, and R. Kelly was going to the high school because he was going back to his old teacher. I forgot her name, but he was going back to his old teacher. She was his voice coach. So that's why he was at the high school. Okay, that was for that. As far as McDonald's, till this day, you can't get him not to go to McDonald's because that is where him and his mother spent the most time. And he wouldn't give a fuck if he got to do the rest of his life. He still would come out and go to McDonald's because he feels the closest to his mom. It's a story, he said. Every morning they would go, and it would be one Danish. They would split, and she'd have a cup of coffee. They split the coffee. He said, I always used to see the coffee and her lipstick, and I used to turn it around, and where the lipstick is, I used to drink from the lipstick. He was like a mama's boy. You understand what I'm saying? And so it is something that is personal for him. He loves his mother, and he misses his mom, and that is a place that reminds him and brings some some solitude to him. It makes him feel regular for a minute. He's not there because of a kid. He's not anywhere because of any kids. No. So that's the answer to that.
Hey DJ, I see you had your hand up. You and Ray, so y'all go ahead.
Yeah, just real quick. Some folks having some issues. I can't post right now or whatever. If you're having issues, just try to hit me in the DM. I try to help you out like that. But Melrose, on your post right here in the Jumbotron, where it says Brittany Harris, aka minor number 6. If you go to your post, right? Hold on. Let me while it's going, come on. Mute the damn audio, man. Now, sorry if y'all heard or didn't hear it or whatever. But hey, Melrose, can you go to your joint right there and it says right under JoJo? It already came out in court last week that these bees and getting book deals, Grey Goose deals. Post that to the Jumbotron so the folks can see, bro.
I'm sorry, what exactly do you want me to post?
I can't post right now, even though I'm closed. I'm actually blocked.
Yeah, it's on there. You know it's on there.
Just listen to me. Just listen to me, y'all. Listen to me. Everybody mute your mic real quick. Mute your mic. So right there where it says Brittany, right there, Edwards, aka minor number 6. If you go to your thing, go right there below where JoJo commented on it, and you commented back. It already came out in court last week that these bees are getting book deals, Grey Goose deals, Section 8, and so on. So retweet that to the Jumbotron.
There it is.
Yeah, I'm blocked from Twitter right now for adding the DNC, so you already know.
And like I said, because we want to have that dialogue. Anybody in the space that has a difference of opinion from what they heard from two of the speakers, Melrose and Secret Sister, please go ahead and request a mic. And if you want to speak on it, if you feel that R. Kelly, and like I said, you can speak on his music career, you can speak on his life, you can speak on if you think he's guilty or whatever. But anybody that may have definitely a difference of opinion, if you want to go ahead and state that, then you're more than welcome to come on up here and actually state that and actually say something. So by all means, don't hesitate to grab the mic. This is open mic about R. Kelly, so we definitely want to hear all kind of different points of views on him. Ray, I know you got your hand up, and we're gonna get to you, Professor. So,
and I'm asking this as far as me. I've gotten to know this man, and he's a brother just like y'all, And I'm asking everybody, like I know y'all just listening, but y'all have to have a pro or a for or against. But for whatever reason, could y'all please just ask me and Melrose? And like we have been at the court hearings. I have several, a lot of evidence, but and I'll leak it every day again because I did once. But go ahead, Ray. I'm sorry, babe.
No, you're fine. This is just my personal opinion as someone that grew up with my mother. And my mother, she passed away in 2019. The whole thing with him putting his lips on where his mother drank the coffee, it's not criminal, but at a bare minimum, it's still fucking weird. So I will just say that. The question I had, which came from someone else, they wanted to know what were your comments on Dame Dash in the Surviving R. Kelly documentary. And my second question is, I feel like even if R. Kelly isn't guilty, he doesn't help himself because he goes on TV. I remember he did an interview, I believe it was with the brother named Torre back in the day, and they sat there and they asked him, do you like teenage girls? And he sat there, he paused for a second, and then he asked.
They edited that. You watch TV Magic.
They edited that. You're right, Melrose. They edited
that. TV Magic.
Okay, well, still, even him responding, when you say teenage, how old are we talking? That just sounds...
No. We just said they edited that.
TV Magic. You don't know at what point he asked that
That's
question.
not what he said, right?
He was watching TV Magic.
Right.
Okay, well, I stand corrected. I'm just going off what I saw. So
I've seen the actual unedited one. That's not at all. And like you said, Melrose, that was a completely different thing. They were asking, it was something like,
TV Magic.
I heard you like teenage girls. He said, where'd you hear I like teenage girls? And they put that in that spot. It was something like that. Where did you hear I like teenage girls? So
okay.
Now you see how they made it.
I'm sorry, go ahead. I was going to ask, would you mind answering the question about Dame Dash and his comments on the Surviving R. Kelly document?
I never seen that. I never seen Surviving R. Kelly. I tried to watch 13 minutes. I was able to watch 13 minutes of Lisa Van Allen on part 2, and I was like, I got to turn this shit off. She's lying.
Yeah, some people could just know. Dame Dash, quite interesting. I'm glad you asked. Aaliyah is the reason why Dame Dash and what's his name? Jay-Z. This is why they're She's the reason they broke up. A lot of people will not, they'll never know that. She's the reason they broke up.
Sister, before you go on, we got a new speaker, so let's get to him real quick. Because sometimes people have connection issues, and I don't want to lose anybody that hasn't had a chance to speak.
Yeah, I can't see everybody.
Yeah, we're gonna get right back to you. But OGK, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Peace to the room, peace to the host, the co-host. Mine is very simple. Free R. Kelly, free R. Kelly, free all political prisoners. That's it.
Love you, bruh. I love you, and that's what I've been trying to do. I've been getting out a lot. Professor, you got a question?
Yeah, Professor, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Yes, Secret Sister. Basically, I really just got a comment. That is, I'm not going to be against R. Kelly. I feel like the brother has been, maybe he's out there a little weird or whatever. Hell, we all got some weirdness about us. But the brother, I believe, has done a lot up there in Chicago. I believe he's done a lot in other spaces too. And I think when it comes down to us as black men in America, we already know the federal government or state government or whatever government you want to call it will always try to do a job on your name and your reputation. And they're going to try to do whatever they can to throw you in a bad way. That's just how it is. We've seen it happen with Bill Cosby. We've seen it happen time with Red Fox. We've seen it just throughout history, y'all. We've seen how this stuff goes as it pertains to us. In humanity, black men are human beings just like everybody else. And we have our faults and errors just like anybody else. So therefore, it's like our issues get highlighted and twisted in a different kind of way. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yeah.
And I land my plane there.
And you know what? To piggyback off of you, Professor, that was a great one. I often say, women are the pinnacle of, giving birth, life, whatever. We can make a man, but I'm telling you, women also can play a devilish part, and we can break a man down. And one thing about women is we are emotional. You hurt a woman, and she can make your life hell. You understand what I'm saying? And these are hurt women that got, excuse the expression, that got fucked. But I don't want you as no girlfriend. No. That's it. You understand what I'm saying? And they couldn't accept that. Some people just can't accept. But that's one thing that I wish our black women, and I know we have a lot of black women, and I am pro-man, okay? Because it's not many of y'all, and it's too many of us. I need our men out here. I'm sorry. Because I want us to continue to procreate. We can't procreate. I don't want no white man up in our system. So for that, the black women have to stand up, and we have to stop feeling sorry for mess. Because I know goddamn well, us as women, we have a intuition. And I know damn well y'all know the truth. But sometimes this is what I found, and I'm going to be honest. I found that there's a lot of women that have been raped, molested, and everything. And the minute that they can get a chance to put somebody down, like AKA Tasha K. Tasha K was one of the main reasons R. Kelly's in. And I did send a video. It's not even public, but she met with us. She seen the actual evidence, and she cried and said, I fucked up. Yeah, you did. She put an innocent man. She said, family, I think R. Kelly's innocent. She's seen it. You understand? And to see it is to really, that's when it would blow your mind. You know what I mean? Because the stuff that, as it was coming in, I'm like, and on these women, you have to say, we're not idiots. Okay? We don't need the white man's school system to teach us logic. Logically, we have to look at this. When you look on TV, who do you see? Black men being paraded. Ain't nobody asked, what happened to Weinstein? Why didn't he get racketeering, RICO, and all that? Why didn't they get that? You gotta ask that. Why didn't you get a RICO? They really was racketeering. They was taking them over to Epstein Island. That was out of the country. You understand?
Sister, hold that thought, because I invited somebody to speak. They had a difference of opinion.
I don't know how to say that.
Polori King, I believe.
Yes, thank you, brother. Yeah, definitely Polori King.
How do you say your name again?
Polori King. Well, it was Contradiction on here, so I don't know if anyone knows. You can still call me Contradiction. That's fine.
Okay.
So, were you speaking to me, no Newstoter?
Yeah, because I said it to the space. I want different opinions. I want everybody to come. I want people to come in here that we hear one point of view, and like I said, this space is not to take a side either way. So we want to have different point of views. I don't want just everybody on the same boat. I want to hear what people. I want to hear what the other end believes and feels. So I don't want just one side of the actual, because this is about opinions and thoughts on his life and career. And,
I'm here to change people's minds.
But yeah,
I'm here to give people.
Here's the thing.
No, wait a minute. I'm about to say that. I'm here to change people's minds. Hopefully. Okay. That's what I'm praying on, because I do have factual evidence. I will send you factual evidence, and I'm here to do that. So if you have an opposing thing, please come and ask, because to know.
But sister, let's let him go ahead, and then you can get back on there, because I invited him to come up. So Polori King, go ahead and unmute your mic and go ahead and say what you feel like saying.
Thank you, brother. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everybody in the room. Yeah, so I didn't hear anyone else's perspective. I just saw the room, so I jumped in. I don't have any sympathy at all for R. Kelly. I personally believe, and this is one of those situations. I know, we like to talk about what white folks have done, and it's just like, why are we getting targeted? But I think in situations like this, I'm not worried about other people. The only folks I'm worried about are the black girls and the black women who are not getting protected. I don't give a fuck about the fact that, you know what I mean, no one else is going down, right? Of course, that's a different topic altogether. That's a different situation where we need to figure out why is it that us as black men are overrepresented in the prison industrial system, right? That doesn't take away the situation that our black girls and black women are constantly pushed to the side, and then our argument is always we need to protect the black community, we need to protect black men. Who is then going to protect our black girls and black women if there's always this situation that comes up, right? It really almost like sickens me to a way when I hear folks defending this man, just because there is irrefutable evidence to the contrary of what this man says. He did this to some girls, and the thing with me is I don't really care who else participated, right? I don't care if the parents were like pushing them on it, right? This is a grown man
Okay, wait. I gotta interrupt. I gotta interrupt you on that. What do you mean you don't care?
Wait. Hold on, sister. You're gonna get your chance now. You've been going. Let's let the brother say. Like I say, everybody in here is not gonna agree. So let the brother say. You can go ahead and you can rebuttal what he says, but let the brother go ahead and say. We don't want to interrupt people. Let him go ahead. Everybody's not gonna agree. There's gonna be varying opinions and whatnot. That's what this space. We do with a space like this. That you're gonna definitely have varying opinions on this thing here. So let's go ahead. No interruption. Let him go ahead and speak. Lori. Go ahead and say what you got to say, and then Secret, then you can go ahead and get in there.
Thank you. So yeah, like I was saying, yeah, maybe we can say that some of their parents were complicit in what happened. However, I'm a 33-year-old man, right? There's no parent on earth that could try to throw their 16, 17-year-old daughter my way, and I'm gonna say, oh, I'm gonna sleep with them, right? Doesn't matter what the parents have done. I know that shit is immoral. It lacks any type of accountability. It's inappropriate. It's just all around fucking gross. I'm not gonna use the parents as an excuse to say this is why I'm engaging in this inappropriate activity, right? These black girls are going to grow into black women. So even if at the moment they don't realize that they have been sexually taken advantage of, in 15, 20 years, it's going to hit them. And that's new trauma that's being reopened. You understand what I'm saying? And so for me personally, that's always my concern, protecting black girls and black women. And so when I see things like this where folks are
Okay, where the music coming from?
no.
Okay, let's chill on the music, y'all. Let's be respectful to everybody speaking and whatnot. Let's not play music while somebody's speaking, y'all. So let's chill on that. Let the brother go ahead. Like I said, let him go ahead and state his opinion, what he feels, and let's just let that be that, and then we'll move the conversation around. But let's not interrupt the brother while he's trying to build here. It might not be a build that people may want to hear, but he's entitled to his opinion.
My bad. I must have hit a button. My bad, y'all. I didn't know. I'm sorry.
Oh, no problem. Go ahead, Polari.
So yeah, I know my opinion might be in the minority, but I still want it to be respected. So like I was saying, we're not always gonna agree, right? But at the end of the day, for me, it's just like I don't feel like we as a society, we as black people do enough to protect our black girls and black women. There's always a situation that comes up, whether this man is a celebrity or this man is a pillar in our community and she gets pushed to the side. That's not okay. The women are what make our community go. You know what I mean? Black women are literally the leaders and the pillar of our fucking communities. And when we hold spaces or where we do things where we are either justifying, making excuses, or trying to shift the blame to someone else, I think there's always at least one girl or woman in the room who is essentially re-traumatized, because to her it's like, if folks can defend this man who's a celebrity where there's irrefutable proof, well, who's going to defend me from being sexually assaulted by this random man, right? And I don't think a lot of us think about that. I had a friend who was, she was gang raped by 8 men. Um, None of those men ever went to prison or anything because they said they didn't have proof. They couldn't find anything. And so maybe that's why I see it differently. You know what I mean? I was raised by my mother, but it just, I don't know. I don't have sympathy for this man, especially like I said, when there's proof to the contrary. Yes, Harvey Weinstein, all those motherfuckers deserve to be in jail. However, right now the focus of the room is R. Kelly. My focus is always on protecting black girls and black women. Um, and so I'm open to hear what other folks have to say. I'll stay on the stage, brother Newstoter, in case you want me to respond or anything. So thank you for allowing me to share.
No problem. And just so you know, this space that we created, we in this space, and I let it be known from the beginning that the opinions that shared tonight in this space are not the opinions of Newstoter. So this is just an opinionated space. This is about R. Kelly. Just to let you know, we didn't create this space. We didn't create the space to say R. Kelly was being framed, R. Kelly was being railroaded, or anything like that of that nature. So just to let you know, Polari, this is a space created so people would come in here and have dialogue, and we knew that they were going to be varying different views. And that's why when I saw you leave the comment, and I said it before you even left that comment, that I was trying to get people to come in here, and have asked and give us another different viewpoint on what they felt about R. Kelly, because we heard Secret Sister and we heard Melrose's viewpoint, and really they've been the only two that's really been, maybe with, I think, OGK and an exception of a couple other people that were kind of, pro R. Kelly, but I wanted to hear people that also felt that, hey, he could have done it or he did do it. So we want to hear varying viewpoints, and I want to hear viewpoints from black women in here as well too, because most of the conversation, with the exception of Secret Sister, all of the conversation with the exception of Secret Sister has been all men. So I want to hear what black women have to say about the issue as well too. So that's just kind of just to let you know that, brother. Secret, I know you have something to say. Melrose, I know you have something to say. So before I let y'all say it, because I know it's going to be a little bit longer, let Ray and DJ get to it, and then we'll go ahead and get back to you two.
So I just wanted to ask you. You started talking about Dame Dash, and then I guess the conversation got moved. So I was wondering if you would go back and finish what you were going to say about Dame Dash. And secondly, I wanted to ask you about the RICO laws. Is it true that the RICO laws were actually changed or twisted to convict R. Kelly?
Who was that? That was for Secret Sister, Ray, that question?
That was that. I'm gonna tell you.
Whoever can answer it. It wasn't
okay. Before we get back to you, let's see what DJ got to say real quick, and then we'll get back to you.
No, go ahead. Call me Unifish Sandwich. Go ahead.
Okay. Go ahead, Secret. Yeah, you go ahead, and then let Melrose get up in here too. Y'all two can go ahead.
Okay. Well, about the Dame Dash. Okay, Dame Dash has always been pretty jealous of R. Kelly because of the time that R. Kelly and Aaliyah spent together. Dame Dash and the whole Rockefeller thing, it fell apart because of them two being in love with Aaliyah. One thing that's really sad, God bless her, rest in power, sister. Her uncle, Barry Hankerson, okay, she slept with a lot of people in the industry, and that's the saddest part. That's the saddest part. You understand what I'm saying? But that's that part. And you said that was about Dame Dash. He's very jealous now. When he made up that lie about and because certain things is we're opening new cases, I can't say stuff like that deals with Dame Dash and Jay-Z. But you see, they don't have much to say about him. You noticing that, and what was the second question you had?
I was asking about the RICO laws. I was told that the RICO laws were actually changed with that whole the RICO laws and the Mann Act and white slaves going, I guess,
right,
trafficked or whatever. And also, while I got you on, I wanted to ask about Aaliyah's friend that was in the documentary who alluded to catching him doing some sexual on a tour bus once.
Okay, now that would be not Geronda, but I forgot her name.
I think it was Brittany or something like that.
It was. I forgot. It was
dot number four. That
right,
was her name.
Because they were taking different names. It was Jane 4, I do believe. And she said she came and caught them. Well, one thing that in doing this investigation, talking to Aaliyah's mother, this and that, her parents was there on every time she shipped out. Her parents was there. That's for one. For two, I don't know if you remember me telling you that R. Kelly was sleeping with her mother. You know what I mean? That I don't believe happened, but I'll say don't believe happened because I have no tangible evidence. And
it didn't happen. He wasn't even on tour.
That's her name, Javante.
Yeah, Javante. He wasn't on tour. The year that she testified on the stand, he wasn't even on tour that year.
Now you get it? Because they had canceled it because of all the allegations. So his tour was canceled. And all the dates that these young ladies, I had put out, every date that he had been on tour, even when he was with the group. I forgot what the other two guys, even when he was on the group with them, every tour that he made.
Public announcement,
right. Even when he was on there, I put out every tour date that he actually made. And something that these girls didn't do, or the government didn't do, they didn't do their homework, because they put these girls in his home with his entourage while he was on the road. It seemed like every time.
Let me answer the other part of Ray's question. The changing of the RICO law, the only thing they did was, I'm white and I say so. I can't explain it no more simple than that. You never see one individual get charged as an enterprise with no co-defendants. One individual being charged with a whole RICO, that's just called I'm white and I say so. So yes, they did change it.
And actually, Melrose, you remember at the end of the trial, when the jury was given their instructions.
Yeah, they changed the definition.
Judge changed everything on what something meant.
I hope that answered Ray's question, but we can answer this other individual who just sat there and lied and said his friend got gang raped by 8 people. We got to answer.
Okay, now
you got to answer that.
I think that's about that.
You said your friend, she got gang raped by 8 people.
Yes.
You're lying.
I'm lying. Okay.
That never happened. Why would you tell that lie?
If you think that is something
What's her name? What's her name?
For a fucking Twitter space.
What's her name?
This is absolutely insane.
Well, can I say something? This is
absolutely insane that you think that I would lie about my friend being gang raped for a fucking
Peloso. Peloso, or I don't know what to call you.
Just contradiction.
Okay. Well, okay, contradiction. I was raped 3 times. Okay. I was raped 3 times. But on that me being raped 3 times, I don't make all my brothers pay for what those 2 hunkies did to me. All right? That's for 1.
Wait, so you're saying your friend was raped by 8 black men? That's what you're saying? He's lying. He's lying, by the way.
Did you even hear me say the race, or did you hear me say my friend?
Go ahead and make up a race. Go ahead and make up a race.
I don't know the race of the men. I know it was 8 men.
There it is, because they don't exist.
Okay, everybody, we're having a good dialogue. Let's just try to keep it one at a time. Like I said, I know this topic here is going to kind of hit, so let's just try to go ahead and keep it one at a time. As a matter of fact, we're going to get right back to you guys. Let's get to Miss Grade 8 real quick, and then we'll come back to Melrose, and we'll come back to Polari and Secret. So let's just go ahead, and Miss Grade 8 got her hand. She's new. So let's go ahead and let Miss Grade 8 go ahead and say something. Miss Grade 8, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Thanks, Father, and thanks everybody for this space. I just have 2 questions. My first is it possible that 2 things can be true at once, or 5 or 7 or 12 things can be true at once?
No.
In other words, is it possible that a man? Okay.
No.
Fair enough.
There's only
my second question is.
Hold on a second. Hold on. Time out. I'm not to mute you, but hold on a second. You asked a question. Think about what it is you just asked. Can one thing have multiple tails to it? It's not a fantasy. You feel what I'm saying? There's only 3 truths: yours, mine, and whatever your higher power is. You understand that? You know what I mean? Because the truth always comes to light. That's why they say that shit. You know what I mean? But go ahead. You gotta mute your mic.
Well, I didn't get to finish asking the question, to be honest. You jumped in and started answering something and didn't hear the rest of the question. But
go ahead, sister. Go ahead.
But not to cut you off again, it wasn't about the rest of the question.
You just keep cutting me off.
Let it go ahead.
I just want to just for context purposes.
Oh my God!
It's not about
go ahead.
I know. I want to explain something to you. Hold on a second. I have a right to do that. Hold on a second. It's not about you over talking
You have a right to do something, but you haven't let me have my right to finish my initial question.
First of all, calm down. Let me answer your first question again. That's all I'm saying to you. And it's not that I'm not blaming you. I'm just saying, let me answer the first question. That's all.
Let's let her go ahead and ask her question, and then
go ahead, man. You know what I mean? Go ahead. I'm not saying it.
Yeah, just let her go ahead and ask what she's got to say, and then we can go ahead and see what it's about. So, Miss Grade A, please go ahead and ask your question, how you want to ask it.
Go ahead, sis. Hit your mic.
You know, Miss Grade A, go unmute your mic and ask your question however you want to ask it.
Okay, thank you. I just wanted to understand why it's important to let the world know that Aaliyah slept with a lot of people. And do we think that's a respectful way to treat the dead? I'm just earnestly asking, why would we even start talking about how she slept around?
Are you okay? So you want me to answer that? Well, I'm gonna answer this way. Don't ask me that. Ask the federal government that made her Jane number 1. Because, see, I don't feel as though she should be Jane number 1 if she's not even here to say it happened or didn't happen. So, because of that fact, that's why I said it. And it's not to put a smudge on Aaliyah. It's to put a smudge on her fucking stupid, sexual, nasty ass uncle, Barry Hankerson. That was a baby. And since a baby, she's been getting thrown around. See, one thing a lot of people gotta understand is this entertainment business is something way out there that you'll never get to understand. I didn't until I started this investigation. And if you talking about sick that's where sick is. Those Jews that's over top of our music, that's where sick is. I'm going to keep it 100.
All right, let her ask her next question.
Okay, I'll just add to that, and then I'll go back to the audience. Maybe it's a wording thing, but when people hear that a woman just liked to sleep around with men, that's not the same thing as saying a woman was exploited by her uncle and was forced to sleep around with men. I mean,
I have to interrupt you.
Wait, Secret,
Newstoter, she's not.
We get it, but let her talk, Secret. We can't overtalk people. Just go ahead and let her finish her point, because you've been going for a while. So let her finish what she's got to say. Then you can respond. Go ahead, Ms.
I can't let her put words in my mouth, Ms. Potter. That's not what I said.
Well, I'm not putting words in anyone's mouth.
I didn't say Aaliyah likes to sleep around. I said her uncle.
You said she slept around. You said Aaliyah slept around. It's on the recording. And I'm just saying there's a different way.
I said her uncle made her. I didn't say she liked it. I didn't say, but her uncle made her. Her uncle is a very powerful man.
Aaliyah slept around.
No, I did not.
You didn't say she liked it, and you didn't. In the phrase I heard,
I said Barry Hankerson had her sleeping everywhere
around.
No, I did not.
Okay, well, we'll listen back to
now.
Okay, one person at a time. Let's let Miss Grade A go ahead and finish. Miss Grade A, I'm going to go ahead and give you, I know you said you're going to go back to listening, so I'll go ahead and give you a minute or 50 seconds to go ahead and finish. Then, Secret, you can go ahead and respond to it. Do not interrupt her again, please. Let her go ahead and finish. She hasn't been on that long. Let her go ahead and finish. Then y'all can go ahead and chime in. You know how we normally do it, Secret, so come on, just bear with me right here.
I apologize. I'm gonna do it in 15 seconds and just
wait a minute. I want to apologize, Miss Grade. Miss Grade 8, I want to apologize, sis.
Sister, thank you. And I want to apologize if I upset you. Okay?
No, you did. Go ahead.
Okay, good. Okay, thank you, sister. Okay, let me just get this out, and then I'm gonna shut the hell up and go back to the audience. So
don't go to the audience. Stay right there.
Okay. Okay, I'll do that. No, I just know you and I, and we all know how Black women are portrayed, and I think that I get what you're saying about Aaliyah's uncle. My 2 cents is maybe we can word it differently, because it came across very respectfully as it was like Aaliyah's choice. If we all know, and that was your point, it wasn't. So that's all I'm saying. Okay, so now I'm going to mute myself. Thank you.
Okay, so what it was is just a
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hit the mute. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
It was just a mere miscommunication, because if everybody in the room can tell you from the beginning, I've never said that baby slept around. I said Barry Hankerson, made her get around through the industry, not Aaliyah. And that's the sad part about it, because his sister, Aaliyah's mother, is scared of him. Aaliyah's scared of him. He's a very powerful man. And see, this whole system that we're talking about, and like I said, Melrose was in there. Everybody can say what they want, but what we need to do is stop listening to the lie vision. Quit looking at these fake ass articles. Quit watching their videos, because the very colonizers that we are talking about, we fighting against, y'all are making them turn us against one of our people. And another thing, really quick, and don't say nothing, and this is one thing I wanted to touch on. Y'all gotta back up off of Sir Major. This is a fact, okay? Because he has a loud voice and is being heard. And when you got a loud voice and is being heard, when you on them streets, guess what? They pin you, and they start to get intel, and they place it on you. And the first thing that everybody gets done in the Black community, they give a public execution. First, we got to get publicly destroyed. Then they jail us. They want us to turn against each other. If you don't have no tangible evidence, I haven't seen one thing in Sir Major's thing, and I have looked up it. I haven't seen this shit that everybody is saying. I'm not for or against nobody, and I ain't nobody's toy. I ain't nobody's I'm for, you know what I'm saying? I'm not for, if Sir Major did it, I would say it. But my thing is this.
Well, hold on. How do I get brought in this shit? Hold on.
Wait a minute. Now, what I want is, if somebody wants to tell me something about any of my brothers or sisters, you have to give me ironclad proof. Now, it could be because I'm a detective, a federal agent, that you have to give me proof. Your word and something that they put together on TV, because they will take something I say right here, clip it, put it to something else, and the next thing you know, I'm saying something horrible about Sir Major. And I ain't saying nothing horrible. But I'll tell you one thing. When you get on their list, and anybody know what I'm talking about, I'm on the list. When you get on their list, watch out. So my thing is we are Black people. We are on their list. They don't want us to survive. Point blank, period. Now, the only thing I want to say one thing to cognitive. Now, you say, when you came up here, the first thing you said was, I'm for taking care of the Black woman and the Black girl.
Sister, that wasn't cognitive. That was Polari. That wasn't cognitive.
Yeah, he said that's cognitive. He said
no,
it's
that
cognitive.
No, cognitive. That's not cognitive. That's pejorative.
What's your name? What's the other name you said?
I said my name on here was contradiction. So
contradiction. I'm sorry. I knew it was something, but was I correct? You said that you as men, y'all got to protect the black women and the black girls, right?
Yes, ma'am. I did say that.
Okay. Well, I'ma ask you right now. Out of the 120,000 missing black women and girls, where was your warriorism at when they're missing? They're being trafficked. Where were you at? Where can I ask you? Where are you at? Because I'm doing a lot of work to get them back. Where are you?
And address the lie that he told about this random friend getting raped by 8 random men who he doesn't know what color or race they are.
And this is another thing. Like I said, if your friend
wait, because you go on for a minute, so that's what I'm saying. Wait for a second.
But you said it was my thingy to talk about or tell.
It's your thing, but you hold on, sister. You got other people that have been going back to you. I've been moving around the room, and I've been coming back to you.
Oh, okay, I see them. I see the hands now. Yeah. I didn't see hands. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna come back to you, okay? So we got you going. We know that you one of the expert speakers on this. You went to the trials and this and that. That's why I let the people ask their quick questions, and I come back to you and Melrose so y'all can go ahead and rebuttal or whatever. So let's move around the room. Sir Major, I see you up in here. You got something to say about this?
Oh, Sir Major's here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh,
so I'm here.
Hi, Sir Major.
I'm in the building. I don't know how I ended up in this room, but the brother.
Hi, Sir Major.
How you doing, love? How are you doing, good sister?
Okay.
All right, so a couple of things. I know time is limited, so I just want to try to cram everything in. My first thoughts is how the hell did my name even surface up in this conversation? R. Kelly is a musical genius. It's not debatable. Is he better than Michael Jackson? Fuck no. But is he a talented artist? Yes. Very talented, very gifted. The work cannot be pinned. Someone's mic is open. Sister, Secret Sister, I think your mic is open.
Yeah, I think that's Melrose mic because he's the only one showing a waveform. But go ahead, sir.
Talented brother. Now, do I believe R. Kelly is a sick bastard and a pedophile? Yes. We all saw the tape. We saw the tape. We knew that was a damn little kid. So, what I think is happening is arrogance. He got away with it the first time. Some should have clicked in his brain and told him to stay the fuck away from being the red signs, the red flags, the grooming and all that stuff. He should have known better. It doesn't excuse your childhood and how you grew up and what happened to you. There's no excuse to doing that. He should have got the proper treatment. The other thing is this. Attorney Gerald Griggs out of Atlanta, Georgia, was my attorney who defended me against the police accusations or where they said I impersonated the police. I hired him, paid him a lot of money to represent me. I ended up doing most of the work, and that's why I'm a free man. What I would tell you is this. Attorney Griggs, Joe Griggs, represented the family, the mother and father of, what's that girl's name? The girlfriend of R. Kelly, the one that went back to him.
Azriel Clary?
Yes, Miss McClary, yes. So I'm very much attached to this case in terms of knowing a lot of the facts, but I speak as an individual who is a member of the public. I speak as a free man, right? As a citizen. He groomed those girls. He tapped into their psyche. He got them while they were young. And he's a master manipulator. There's no doubt about it. I think the folks that was connected to him ought to get some of the same strength of penalties because they engineered and facilitated a lot of that mess. And they had the ability to stop it at any chance, and they failed to do such. What was the other point I wanted to land real quick? Secret sister, we heard what you said. You didn't have to really get super defensive, but I understand if somebody's taking your words intentionally out of context or in committed to misunderstanding you. I think that is generally because you are known to be associated with me. I think that was a dig against you. I'm just be honest with you. You know, your brother gonna always keep it a buck with you. So we all understood you, sister. We all heard you, and everyone in here underneath the sound of my voice, we fuck with you. We love you, and we're not gonna let people misconstrue what you had to say. You are a decorated detective. You protected black bodies. You wouldn't let white folks just have their way inside the department when it came to black folks. You protected us, and we will protect you. Last thing, and I'll shut up. In our community, what we love to do when we get upset with someone is we love to talk about, oh, you gay. Yeah, I knew you was a fag. Or you a pedophile. Or you're a pervert. You're weird. You're nasty. So a lot of times there are folks who use these tropes to try to villainize or try to discredit folks or try to silence people when they either A, don't agree or don't like something that they say. So I'll land there. Thank you.
All right. Ray, I know you got your hand up, so go ahead and unmute your mic real quick.
Just had a really quick question I wanted to ask sister. So R. Kelly's currently in jail. Do you foresee him coming out earlier than the 30 years that he's been sentenced?
He's not going to do that. We appealed that. Let me explain you how the government is. First of all, they got a 98%. Okay, and no matter what, this is a win for them. Now, if we went on appeal, they still look at it as a win for them. We also have an open case of the people that really did it. Okay, because these females have babies, like I said, by the entourage. Okay, you gotta look logically, like I said. If Weinstein can have over 200, and look at him. Love my Uncle Bill Cosby. He had over 60. He ain't the greatest looking. And you're gonna tell me the king of R&B, who was once the sexiest man alive, only has 6 women now, and this one that made 9. And then when did he slip up? He only got babies by his wife. Like, it's little things like that just off top you can think of and say that just some stuff don't make sense. But what I need for my people to do, stop listening to around. Stop gawking and communicating with each other lies because you don't know the truth. And I'm going to be honest, the courtroom don't even give the truth. Okay? Law is not for us. I'm going to be honest with you. Law, politics, okay, and the white man, them is breed that I'm going to tell y'all, they never been for us. So the lady, she's blind because when you blind, what is it? It's dark. You don't see. It ain't for us. It's never been for us. It's never going to be for us until we get our own system going. Now, if we had lawyers, Melrose, you can agree. If we had FBA people and we had a trial, that trial in New York would not have been so it's secretive. And you know why it was secretive? Because they were railroading them. Would I not be agreed? Would you agree with me, Melrose?
Like Kel said, you got to use common sense. Nobody's using common sense.
None.
Nobody has time to. Nobody's using common sense.
I don't even think that even. It just doesn't seem like common sense does it even thrive in our community, like with our people. I'm like, and we the most grounded people. We're spiritual. Come on, y'all know. Y'all know. houses in Gen Pop. They said that he has herpes. No, he don't. I've seen it. I've seen the records. No, he doesn't. But these women, and Melrose, you can attest to this. These women, they refuse to give their doctor's papers. Would you not agree? They said, no, I'm not giving up my medical records.
It's not about whether I agree or not. It's what was, revealed on the stand. And then most of these people that y'all calling so-called victims, their lawyer is Gloria Allred. I'm walking past Gloria Allred every day while I'm turning in my phone, taking off my belt, taking off my keys to put it in the thing. I'm walking past Gloria Allred. So, people got to use common sense. But we got to address this guy that told the lie about this random friend getting raped by gang raped by 8 random men. That never happened. Why did he tell that lie?
I don't know where that came from because
I could put my mother's life in the line right now. I could put my son's life in the line right now. That's not something I would ever, and I mean never lie about. The reason why I brought that up is because I was saying.
Alright, y'all, start with the jokes right now.
Yeah, come on now. We ain't got to play the Simba music, Mel. I knew that was you, Melrose. Come on, chill now. We ain't got to do all that.
Yo, my bad. I'm sorry, y'all. It probably something slipped up. It's not going to happen again. My bad.
That's a second slip up we done had though with it. So
the button's right there. My bad.
Let's go ahead. We gonna get back to YouTube.
It's okay.
Well, hold on. Let's get to Ray. Ray, you got your hand back up. Then we'll get to Sir Major. Ray, go ahead.
Now, I was just gonna ask your opinion because I believe it was R. Kelly's wife that actually testified against him, or at least she may have spoken. I think it was in a documentary actually, saying he was writing these songs alluding to all the crimes and stuff he had done, like age ain't nothing but a number, and my mind's telling me no, my body's telling me yes, and things of that nature. And I want to also add that didn't R. Kelly, wasn't he accused of forcing a girl to get an abortion? Because I heard you say earlier that he only has babies with his baby mama.
That was an accusation. But no, let me tell you, in this case, the only person that came up with tangible evidence was R. Kelly. And guess what? The judge didn't let R. Kelly give none of the witnesses he wanted, none of the all this stuff that we got in the 4 years. She wouldn't let none of that in, none of that. But she let the prosecution bring anything. They could bring any dumb thing. You know what I mean? But it was fixed. And Sir Major, I want to say this to you, and this is you, babe, and you, my little brother. R. Kelly is looking at doing the rest of his life. This man is 55. And like he said on the Gayle King interview, I gave y'all 30 years. He meant that. R. Kelly, this is his schedule. And I've sat right next to him. He does basketball. He sit, write music and all that. He goes to bed at 7 until about 3 to get up and do it all the same. That's his day.
Don't forget going to McDonald's and going to the cigar bar in the studio.
That cigar bar,
that's all he does every day. Basketball, studio, McDonald's, cigar bar. Basketball, studio, McDonald's, cigar bar. He got a bunch of girlfriends. He's taking them shopping. He's going on vacation. He's either going on tour or planning a tour. But for the most of the time, it's basketball, studio, cigar bar, McDonald's. Basketball, studio. How you got time to rape and manipulate and facilitate all these minors? That's literally not even physically possible. You don't got time to write all of these hits for yourself, write all of these albums for everybody else, go on tour, do all the basketball, and facilitate a 30-year enterprise where at the end of the day, only you get charged for a RICO. Gotta use common sense.
Hey, guys, keep it Keep it right there. I'm coming right back to you. We got a hand up. You guys know that y'all are like y'all the speakers tonight.
That's Sir Major. Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna come right. But I'm gonna say this before I give the Sir Major. There was a football player a few years ago named Aaron Hernandez. Aaron Hernandez played football for the University of Florida Gators. Aaron Hernandez was All-American. He was a Super Bowl winner with the New England Patriots. Aaron Hernandez was tried and sentenced to life for killing his girlfriend's boyfriend, his sister's boyfriend. Aaron Hernandez was also tried on a double homicide. Aaron Hernandez had all kind of incidents and stuff, and we sat around and we said, well, damn, how the hell can Aaron Hernandez be one of the top tight ends in all of football, be an All-American, be a champion with the New England Patriots, do all this stuff, and still live like a double life? So, and I'm not saying this one way or another, but I'm saying sometimes we just never know with people. So, I mean, it's nowhere in the world I could have thought that Aaron Hernandez could have done all. He was so engulfed in football and whatnot. Yet this man had a whole nother. He's sitting up here running with gangbangers. He's sitting up here running with just complete thugged out cats and whatnot. While sitting up here playing with catching touchdown passes from Tom Brady of all people. So like I said, we just never know. That's not to say one way or another. I know you guys are doing your investigation.
It's not, you know what, Newstoter? It's not, we never know. What about I'm asking you a question, I'm saying. What about everything you just said, right? It's only 24 hours in a day. Come on, this is logical thinking.
And this is how we're trying to figure out how this dude was an all-pro tight end, All-American in college, a third-round pick, all of this other stuff. Yet this fool was out here killing people. He was accused of, he knocked another man eye socket out. He did all kind of different things that you just like, well, damn, how does he have time to practice and to have this double damn life and stuff like that? So that's what I'm saying. I'm going to come back to you, sister and Melrose. Sir Major, go ahead and unmute your mic.
All right. Sister, your mic is open, sister. Speaker, Sean.
Go ahead now, Sir Major.
All right, cool. So, I think that's a weak argument. And I'm looking at it from a legal standpoint. I'm looking at it from a practical standpoint. One can always make, that's not a good alibi to say that, his schedule says he does this. Or the defendant said, the defendant alleges he keeps a full schedule like the president. It doesn't, we know that the president of the United States keeps a full schedule, but he made time for the function that he wanted to make time for, right? For example, January 6th. For example, making calls to the Georgia governor and trying to get them to commit federal offenses. So, again, I think it's a bad faith argument to say, well, he goes to the gym, Burger King, or whatever, blah, blah, blah. That's bad faith argument. It's a weak argument to say. But I did wanted to ask you, Sister Sean, just really quickly, what is your relationship? I think I missed it. What is your relationship to this case?
Investigator.
So you're hired by his counsel?
Yeah. By him. By him. Yeah.
Okay. So, all right. You can go back on mute because the static there. You got bad feedback. I guess I'll say this. I'm all for following the evidence. But the evidence doesn't look good. I remember watching a documentary after he won that case, and I didn't think he was going to win, but he won. And I almost really wanted him to win because I never wanted to look at my childhood idol as a predator. I Believe I Can Fly was a song we sang every damn day. He had me believing, thinking that I could fly. The World's Greatest was one of my most inspirational songs. When your back's against the ropes, I can believe it. I made it, right? I can feel it. I made it. So that was like one of my jams. But it doesn't minimize the harm that he has caused. And this is not hearsay. I'm looking at the evidence. So, for example, after he beat that trial, It's the trial of his life. Sometimes you only get one time. You only get one life. You don't have 9 lives. He managed to escape something where he probably should have been in prison for the rest of his life. And I'll tell you how so. He did an interview with Torre. And Torre asked him, do he like underage girls or teenagers? He says, when you say teenagers, how young are we talking? That's the mind of a pedophile. Or someone who's attracted to minors or young girls. That's there's no other way to look at that. Because if you would say, hey, Mage, you like teenagers? And you got daughters. So you gotta make this personal. You got nieces, cousins. You gotta make this personal. And we have to start remembering to support victims, because we do live in a world when a woman does say they've been violated or harmed, that we typically don't believe them. It's, well, what were you wearing? Well, how was your hair? So there's that. And I think the last thing that I wanted to tackle really quickly was, he paid off. First of all, he married Aaliyah at an underage. And he duped and finessed and paid off and used his wealth and his influence to have his way and bribe government officials. So when you look at the totality, Secret Sister, when you look at the totality of the circumstances, stuff ain't adding up. Like, I'm not good at math. Like, I got to use my calculator or use pen and paper. But I do know, damn it, that 1 + 1 is 2. The math ain't math when it comes to R. Kelly. I'll go on mute.
Can I respond to him?
I'm gonna let you respond. Let me just, I know Ray got a quick question, and then it's your turn to respond. Ray, go ahead.
Hey, just real quick, Ray. I don't know who South Saint Lorula is. I'm trying to bring you up. You might have to drop down and come back up, fam.
That's my young bull right there.
No, I was going to add this really quick so Secret Sister can take over. So she brought up the fact, all these other.
You there, Ray? Oh, dropped our phone in the water. Ray dropped our phone in the water, man. Go ahead, Secret Sister.
Yeah, my bad, man. I'm downstairs. My bad. Shit.
Okay, hold on, get yourself together, man. Get yourself.
Yeah,
I know it's all about the show, but get yourself together, bro.
My bad, bro. I was walking and wasn't paying attention. So I was just gonna add this really quick. So we're gonna be talking about, people that have done a lot of wrong stuff. We need to definitely add in Elvis, because he had a book that was called Baby Let's Play House. And I was trying to send this to you, DJ, so you could add it in there, but I can't because you're blocked. Elvis, obviously, he had a lot of sexual encounters with 14-year-olds they called cherries. And he wrote about it in this book called Baby Let's Play House. So I want to definitely add that. Rock legend, there's a guy named Iggy Pop. Iggy committed statutory rape against a 13-year-old, and he wrote songs about it and all this other stuff, man. So, they trying to pin this on R. Kelly. Like I said, I don't know if he's guilty or not. Like Sir Major was saying, if that stuff about what they're saying, like him marrying an underage girl, is true, and all this other stuff, just like any other thing, if people are accusing you of something for 20, 30 years, it's just like, okay, at some point, damn.
No doubt, Ray. South, we're going to get to you, sister, so just hang tight. We're going to get to you. South, go ahead and unmute your mic real quick.
Yeah, man. I'm going to tell you like this, right? I just got to call it how I see it. And R. Kelly is basically suffering and going through what he's going through because he's a creep, and at his age he didn't learn how to stop thinking with his you know what. All right, and man, listen, any man that's trying to juggle a bunch of women, you got to expect for something to go wrong, and that was his problem. Now, so far as everything they're accusing him of, I can't really say he did it. I don't know. At the end of the day, it ain't what you do, is how you do it. And if he would have just, got him 2 girls and just did his thing on some polygamy stuff and just kicked back, he would have been okay. But, all of these them accusing you of, being manipulative and, and just, trying to get so much women and trying to live like some player, it backfired on them. And it backfired on a lot of guys that actually try to do that. R. Kelly is just famous. Now, I'm gonna tell you about this alter ego that he calls himself the Pied Piper. Now, I don't know if you know anything about the Pied Piper, but the Pied Piper is like a German mythical character that plays the flute and lures children to him. You can look it up right now. Google the Pied Piper, and you will see who that mythical German character is. Now, my thing is like this. Why in the hell would you call yourself the Pied Piper if you know that this is a mythical character out of Germany that plays the flute and lures children? And I'm going to tell you straight up like this. I've been to the joint, and I know R. Kelly is the last person you want to be taken up for, because if he get to the wrong place with charges like that around the wrong guys, he's going to get hurt. Straight up. And sister, I know, you hired to, to look into a situation, and I hope you find something to get him out of there so he make it out of there in one piece. I don't expect you to be going against him, on record and you doing, what you're doing for him, so, I hope, they find some loopholes and get dude up out of there, because I feel he needs some help more than jail time. But I'm going to tell you like this, right? And I'm going to land right here. The chances of him getting his case overturned in the feds for a sex crime is very unlikely. And you can do your research and see what cases get overturned with the feds. Most of the time it's drug cases. And I'm going to land there.
Definitely appreciate it. Secret Sister Melrose, give me a chance. We're going to let Palori. I know, Melrose, you want to definitely hear from Palori. So, Palori, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Thank you. So I just wanted to quickly touch on Melrose and sister. So Melrose, that is one thing that I hope no one else would ever fucking lie about. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, I do have a friend who was gang raped in 2011. I see you're from New York, so I'm sure you're familiar with SUNY Old Westbury out on Long Island. And so to hear that you think that that's something I would lie about in a random room on a fucking Twitter space, really doesn't say much about me, but it is an indictment of you. And so to sister, I can send you the link of one of the organizations I work with. Well, I volunteer, let me not say work with. I did volunteer for 2 years in Nashville, Tennessee, for Free for Life. Because Nashville actually has one of the highest sex trafficking rates for teens, for teen girls, and we know that most of them are unfortunately black girls. So I did volunteer with them, and I did a couple of events where we actually went out to Memphis, and I can put the link in the chat if you guys want to kind of check them out, if you want to donate. But that's kind of what I did. You did ask. And yeah, I could be doing a lot more, you know what I mean? But that's just one example.
Melrose, I know you had something to say earlier. Do you want to add anything to that?
Contradiction is your friend. Is she African like you? Because you're African, correct?
No, I'm actually from South America. I'm from Guyana.
Okay, is your friend, is she South American like you?
No, she's Black American. I don't know if she's foundational Black American, but
that means she's African. Was her story? It was on the news, correct?
No, it was not. That's what I'm saying.
Is there any public record other than you lying in this space?
If you think I would lie about something like that, again, that has nothing to do with me, but it is an indictment of who you are as a person.
What's your friend's name?
That's not something I would ever lie about.
What's her name?
I'm definitely not going to disclose my friend's name.
Because she doesn't exist.
To you.
Just decided to tell a random lie. Just to, put your tether projections onto foundational Black Americans.
I was waiting for that tether word. It's really sad. I'm not gonna pray for you. So
I'm sorry. Where can we donate? Where can we donate again? Because that's what you're in here for. Where can we donate again?
I'm not in here for anything because
you just said we can donate. Did you not say that? Where can we donate again?
I was speaking to sister. She asked, "What have I done for?"
And where can she donate? Where can she donate?
So I'm not really doing this fucking inquisition
because you've been exposed,
bullshit.
Correct? Because
I haven't been exposed with anything.
Because you told a random lie that didn't even make any sense, wasn't even
So,
practical.
Sir, please tell me what I would get out of lying about that, please.
The same thing you get from being over here, over our tax dollars, Just do that.
No, I don't want to hear that FBA talking point to Rick bullshit. Tell me what I would gain from lying about my friend being
gay. I don't know why you guys lie. You guys are liars and scammers. Where can we donate? Where can we donate?
I'm talking about me. Why the fuck would I lie in a random room?
Because
okay, I know Melrose, y'all gonna just probably go back and forth, bro. So Melrose, let's try to steer this back onto the actual, like I said, because you was in the actual courtroom and whatnot. So let's try to steer this actually back on the conversation of which it was, which was R. Kelly, about his guilt, his innocence, his life, his career. Let's go ahead and try to steer that back because I know this ain't gonna go anywhere. Y'all just gonna get into it. So let's try to get that conversation back on track if we can, y'all. Let's go ahead and get it back on track.
All right. Well, I personally feel, like I said from the beginning, once again, peace to you and the host and the co-host and all the speakers and everybody in the room. If everybody's entitled to an opinion, who's entitled to the facts? And I feel as foundational Black Americans, we are always entitled to the facts. And as far as the opinion piece of the conversation, me and Secret Sister, we've been providing facts. Other people have been providing questions, and then other people have just been repeating stuff they've seen over on magical TV productions. I think one of the most constructive things and the positive things we could probably all agree on is to talk about his life and career and the music, the good music he produced. So I think I'd like to talk about the different records he produced, because if we're just going to sit up here with people talking about opinions and DVDs and VHSs that they saw 20 years ago of somebody who I don't know how they know it was a teenager, because I didn't see the tape, So I think we could talk about his music. I like Fiesta.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I never wanted to see that damn tape. I never watched it to this day. Didn't want to see it then. I know people that watched it, but I never have seen that tape. Wasn't trying to see it. Don't want to see it. Never wanted to know. Didn't want to have anything to do with that tape. So I know
everybody
a bunch of people
knew. I'm sorry, pardon me, but everybody knew that it was supposed to be R. Kelly and a minor, even though it wasn't a minor and it wasn't R. Kelly. But everybody knew that. So, why do people say that we all saw it? Because I still, to this day, I think, like, damn, was that actually a child? How do they know? And two, what the hell was you doing watching that? And what age did you watch it? Because some people say, hey, I saw it when I was a kid. And then you got some people who say, hey, I saw it when I was an adult. I never seen it.
I am big. I know you requested to come up and speak. Do you got anything that you want to add real quick before we get back to Melrose and Secret Sister?
Thank you, brother. I was just saying, like R. Kelly had a chance to let's say you see like Russell Simmons, they came at him a little bit in the news about a 17-year-old. Where Russell at right now, you cannot be found. That's all I gotta say.
He's in India.
But that's how much money you got. You can move, man. That's what the brother pissed me off what he did there at the end there, You understand me? I'm like, come on, you can move now. You got money. You see how Russell and his homeboy took off on their ass because they put him in allegations and this. As soon as you put the allegation out there, I'm out. I ain't got time for your court system. I got enough money
and
to
that's
move.
Called guilt. That's automatic guilt.
Listen. It ain't about no guilt. This is America. And once them white boys put you in that news, that's it. That's guilt enough. It's convicted, everything. All them words put together. They got you. And that's it. So what Russell did, they begging for Russell to come back, right? Okay. That's all I got to say. You get me? Use your money, your fortitude. You could be R. Kelly anywhere. I'll make my money anywhere in a sense. You get me? That's all I'm saying, because he took too long for them white boys coming for you. So, you know what I'm saying? That's all I got to say. Go ahead.
No doubt, no doubt, no doubt. Let's. I guess we go back to you.
A lot of people have been. I mean, I can't even remember. I remember I wanted to say something to Southside or the one in the red jogging suit. He had said something, and I can't. Now I can't remember it. But you know, I'm glad I'm listening to all of you guys. I love my family.
Can I say something? Can I go secret?
Go ahead.
Wait, I wanted to.
Let her go. Go ahead, secret, and then you go ahead, Bell Road.
No, go ahead, Melrose.
All right, now one thing that I can say and I will admit is that like the what's the brother's name? South. Yeah, the brother. Yeah, Kells was a. I'll use the word he used. I believe he used the word creep. He was a sexual deviant. The sexual things that he did ain't that much sex in the world. Like it was some. I don't even want to begin to repeat the type of stuff he was into. Here's the thing, though. 17 years old, that's legal in Chicago. Whether you agree with it or not, that's legal. 18, 19, that's also legal. And everybody willingly participated, and they enjoyed all that nasty shit. They enjoyed it.
Thank you.
It was. Oh my God! I don't even want to begin to repeat it.
Until the money got dry.
Oh yeah, and that's another thing. Not only until the money got dry, but another thing you said earlier. You said, "Oh, these are hurt women." Yes, some of them were hurt. Like Azriel, she was definitely hurt when Tasha K. And Tasha K needs to be locked up for her involvement. But when Tasha K got that federal informant, whose name we're not going to say on here, when she got that information to him, and they used that to make Azriel flip, she needs to be locked up. But it wasn't just the money ran out and hurt women. Yeah, I'm not saying it. It wasn't just the money ran out and hurt women. It was also really, and no disrespect to black women. I'm not saying this, but black women are smart. But I'm talking about just retarded bitches who weren't victims, weren't minors, but they got backed in the corner because they had like a DUI or something. The federal government, they put pressure on all these women who weren't minors, who were of age, and the federal government basically said, hey, for one, we're going to pay you to do these interviews. We're going to fly you in, fly you out. We're going to do these rehearsals. We're going to pay you. We're going to accommodate you. And if you don't testify to our satisfactory, you're not going to get this immunity, and we're going to punish you for something else you did. That's why all of these victims have immunity deals.
Say alleged.
Yeah, alleged. That's why all these thoughts got immunity deals.
There you go.
If you such a victim, why do you need immunity?
And then what are you immune from? That's what you gotta ask yourself.
You was a minor, you was a baby, you need justice. You need to get on the stand, talk to the grand jury, tell your story, and he needs to be punished. Why do you need to hit him with a RICO? Why do you need to hit him with racketeering? And why do all these victims, well, so-called victims, need immunity?
And I have to ask everybody.
I want to talk about the music.
And I got to ask everybody, since when has one man been an enterprise? The racketeering and RICO, all that was compounded just for the mob at one point. Now, when did it become for black sex people just having sex? And R. Kelly wasn't flying them in. His entourage was doing all that. Each one of these girls always said that they talked to. Who did you talk to get your travel arrangements?
Oh, look in the Jumbotron. Look in the Jumbotron right there. His former assistant of 16 years, a black woman, Diana Copeland. And this is how Michael Strahan was on code. Out of all of the so-called witnesses that the government, that the prosecution produced against R. Kelly, the only person that Michael Strahan chose to interview was Diana Copeland, because she was his personal assistant for 16 years. And in this interview, Michael Strahan asked, he said, hey, in the 16 years, did you ever see any minors? Because you were the one in charge of booking the flights. She said, no, I had everybody's information, ever anybody under 18 other than Azriel. And Azriel didn't get flown out the first time. Her parents drove her to him. So yeah, continue.
There you go.
Let me ask y'all one question, because last week I saw that the girl that allegedly that was on the videotape back in the day, they said that she was the one testifying in court and saying that they had sex a bunch of times and that
Van Allen.
Okay, and that
No. Sparkle's niece.
Oh,
Rashana.
And let me ask you about about Sparkle, because we remember Sparkle back in the day. Sparkle was under R. Kelly's wing. She was a up and coming R&B star and whatnot. So, do you find any of the allegations, because that was supposed to be Sparkle's niece, do you find any of the allegations that Sparkle say to be credible?
No.
Sparkle was repeating Barry Hankinson's orders. Sparkle was given the lie that, hey, go and tell the world that was your niece, and then now it came back to bite her on the ass because that wasn't true, and the government knew that wasn't true. That's why last week you saw the headline saying R. Kelly had sex with his 14-year-old stepdaughter. The government used Barry Hankinson's lie as a checkmate to get Sparkle's niece to corroborate the lie that Sparkle has been telling. I hope I said that right. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So the girl, the young lady last week that came in, that was supposedly the girl from the videotape.
Jane Doe number one, aka Rashana Landfair. That's Sparkle's niece. So yes.
Okay. So she was sitting up there saying that basically they started having sex at a young age, and that he
14.
also. Yeah, and she used him. She was basically a recruiter for him or something like that, to that nature.
No, don't forget. She said that Sparkles told her to go sit on R. Kelly's lap, rub his head. Now this is her first time
ask him to be her
godfather.
And then what Newstoter is saying is that what the prosecution painted for you was that after she sat on his lap and they had sex, he then said, hey, go recruit your little friends and bring them over here, and I'll give y'all money. That's what the prosecution tried to paint. Right. But no, that's not what was happening.
Because I know based on what she said, that she claimed that they had sex hundreds of times or something.
Which they probably did, but we don't know at which age, and that's where the back and forth happened in the transcripts. You can go look that up. It hasn't been established.
I have if anybody wants the transcript, they can, I have all the transcripts, and when you read them, it probably will become a lot more clear, and you'll see that the New York trial was a frame. It was railroad. And there's so many lies that was being told up there, and when it came down to cross-examination, it was always the judge was with the prosecutors, as they already are. Okay, but she was. I mean, they were openly letting us know. This, I said, he ain't. But I told him, I said, I want you to know you're not going to win, but just get ready for an appeal, because I'm gonna be honest. Now, this is a man. They came to him. Let me see. About he was in there his first 8 months, and the government came to him and gave him a 3-year deal. Put that on the table, and he got to sign some of his rights to his music. Now, what do they got to do with his music? That's one thing. Okay, some of his rights to his music over to his alleged victims. And what else was it? And I forgot what it was. But he asked me and the rest of the crew, he asked us our opinion. And I said, how do you feel? He said, my mother taught me, if you didn't do it, rat it out. He said, I'm 55, and at this point, I don't got my family, I don't got my fans, I don't got nothing to lose. And he told them no. So he could have been out 3 years. So my thing is you got to take a look at, why would y'all want to bring a deal to the table that early? And then give them 30 years. Go ahead, South, because maybe you'll say what I wanted to say something to.
Hold on, South. Hold on, South. I want to ask this one thing here too, because what was the whole thing? We know when the documentary came out, The Surviving R. Kelly, we started hearing all about damn sex dungeons and people being trapped and they can't leave, and basically, like, I mean, the girls was told when they could use a bathroom, when they could do this, when they could do that. Like, they was almost in a prison or whatever. Like, I mean, like, they were being watched constantly 24/7 and this and that. Like, you almost couldn't believe what you was hearing. So, to your knowledge, how real was these girls actually been like prisoners in his home and whatnot? And not only that, but I believe his wife herself said that she basically couldn't go and leave as she wanted to. So how real, how much of this do you guys know about that? Then we're gonna go ahead and kick it to you.
Well, I can tell you this. My cousin, she's an active, because it's me and her. Okay, and she was an active agent. She was the FBI agent that went in there. Okay, and when they came out, they said they checked all his storages. They said we can't find anything, and they tore it up. They went through everything, and Azrael Cleary, her dad, has a cousin in Homeland Security. Now, understand, he is being prosecuted by Homeland Security, not the federal government, not our police, but the border police. So that in itself, you have to ask yourself, you're supposed to be keeping the people out. What do you got to do with putting one of a citizen, a FBA? You have nothing to do with putting one of them away. And if the government said they didn't find it, that's our police, our big police. Or if they said they didn't find anything, then why did you open it back up? But they had, like Melrose said, his name was Larry McGee. They call him Grown Little Boy. And he had a tape, and he literally said, because he drinks all the time, and while he was drinking, we got that tape. We got bus drivers. We paid people to lie. We paid this. It's just all this stuff. And when we had that, we thought it was a slam dunk. But when they came back and said all guilty, I said, okay, I see what they're doing. And a lot of people, we wanted men to stand behind them, because I said, I was trying to put on a campaign like, if y'all don't stand behind them, understand that if they put him in for racketeering, RICO, and Mann Act, they're going to be putting all black people in for some RICO. They're going to RICO it up. Everybody going to go in now. And when R. Kelly got found guilty of RICO, what was it? Weeks later, here come people with RICO. Every time somebody go in, now they're going under RICO. RICO, RICO, RICO. That's all they needed. He was the catalyst.
And yeah, as far as them being held hostage and kidnapped, once again, like R. Kelly said, you just got to use common sense. Either he's holding them hostage, or somebody, these big black nigger boogeymen in his entourage that are recruiting and procuring all of these minors, they're holding them hostage. Okay, well, if whoever's holding them hostage, why aren't they co-defendants in this RICO? Why is there a one-man enterprise? A lot of these questions you have, like, damn, the kids, Aaliyah, it's real common sense. Like, it's intricate, because there's a real rabbit hole with this thing. But it was revealed.
You have to think about it.
It was revealed on the stand that they were basically exaggerating. They were trying to paint the picture of him holding women hostage. So the prosecution would ask, and you would be in this Sprinter van for hours upon hours, and you couldn't leave unless you called somebody, and you had to get permission from him. Is that correct? Oh my God, yes, that was correct. I had to stay in the Sprinter van for hours. One time I had to pee, and then I had to use a cup. that type of stuff from the prosecution. But then when the defense cross-examined him, so when did you stay in the Sprinter van for hours? Oh, once or twice. And when was that? Well, he was at a studio and he had a meeting. And what was his reason for not letting you leave? Oh, because he's high profile and he didn't want traffic coming in and out of his Sprinter van. So that's why, they were just exaggerating it, trying to make it seem as if he was holding them hostage. As far as Drea saying she felt like a hostage in the house, Rob had rules because he has a big mansion, and you got to remember, he doesn't live in New York, where they got all of these skyscrapers and all of the record labels are in offices. So when people have meetings, he's flying people in and out. People are coming into his house. He's looking at deals. He's looking at scripts. He got a bunch of people there. So he had rules like, hey, before you come in a room, just knock on the door, And then they try to make it seem like that was just some sort of big bad boogeyman thing. Rob had a lot of rules, and the rules he had, they were just standards. Like, they weren't anything crazy. They were just standards. But, when you're a black man, you can't have standards, especially not here in a court of law. So I hope that answered some of your questions.
Yes, sir. And stay and right now. Let me let South come back because I wanted to ask y'all a question too. But South, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Wait a minute, I don't know how to put stuff in this little up here.
Yeah, the jumbo, that shit kind of difficult. I don't neither.
I know. Totter, could you put the shit eating? No, straight up, because that's my next. That's where I'm going next. Because they already.
No, I can't. I can't.
No, for real. Put it up there, please.
Let me let South go. I can't do that, Lord. I can't put the. What'd you say, DJ?
Let me hip y'all to something real quick. All right, look, it's like this, right? And I had no idea R. Kelly got offered 3 years, and I'm just gonna tell you like this: that was the best thing in the world he could have did was take that, and I'm gonna tell you why. We all grown and we understand in life things gonna pop up on us. It's all so far as how things gonna turn out. It's all about the best decision that we gonna make. And if I was in his shoes, I would have took that 3 years and ran with it because you beating the federal government is almost slim to none. I don't care who you got. All right, they gave Bernie Madoff life sentence for a financial crime. That old ass man died right in jail. Them people do not play. So it's only 2 reasons why I could think that R. Kelly got offered that amount of time, and it's either 1, he had a real good lawyer, or for 2, because you got a lot of white men going to jail for child pornography, and they don't get a lot of time. And so, the thing is just like when you want to play with them and you want to drag them, when you lose a trial, they're going to drag your ass. And that's what happened to him. Like I told you, listen, if I go outside and start selling drugs to a bunch of people I don't know, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to serve an undercover, I'm a service snitch, and they're going to tell on me. I don't know why no celebrity or no man think that you could just keep messing with all these different females. Just like Drake said, we making these girls sign a non-disclosure. Yeah, when you come up in this mansion, you're going to sign a non-disclosure. That way we ain't got to worry about you trying to say we did nothing wrong to you, man. Bruh was doing big time slipping. And when you are Kelly, you are responsible for your entourage. You are the one, whatever they do. If I come in the club, I'm a celebrity. I come in the club with my entourage and one of my boys bust somebody upside the head with a Moet bottle, and that person sue, who they gonna sue? They gonna sue me. So y'all got to take that in consideration. I'm gonna land there.
Let me ask this because I know y'all covered this just shortly, but the Leah thing, the Leah marriage certificate with R. Kelly, y'all saying that marriage certificate was not valid, that R. Kelly and Aaliyah were never married back in '94 or whatever?
No. And if you want, I'll send you the transcript of the actual trial where Demetra Smith let you know that it was him, Barry Hankerson, and Mason, his manager. They felt as though that would be a good
That was like a marketing thing, a publicity
right.
thing.
It was all about publicity. That's it.
Here's the thing I don't understand. Why would they try to use that as publicity at the time when everybody knows that Aaliyah was about 15 years of age and he was about 27, 28? So why would they try to market something like that to get off and try to, when she was already a rising star? I never understood that.
Well, this is Barry Hankerson. He don't want her to rising star. He want her to go from her house to stardom. That's it.
That was a Barry Hankerson thing. It was
right.
The age ain't nothing but a number. One of the key parts, because Azriel, she was the government star witness number 2, and Aaliyah was Secret said, she was Jane number 1. Aaliyah was Jane number 1. And part of the government's main argument for charging him with Aaliyah was that, he had it in his mind. He wrote all of these songs, from a perverted pedophile point of view, and he wrote age ain't nothing but a number. And, that's how the government charged him for Aaliyah. But that wasn't even his idea. He wrote the song, but that was something that Aaliyah came up with. Aaliyah and her friends, they came up with that.
Right.
But the government charged him because, remember, this whole thing, the reason why they were able to charge him with a RICO is because he used his music and his superstardom to attract minors. So I hope I made the point that...
Right, and I think that's not... Oh, and you know what, South? That's what it was. You were saying something about the Pied Piper. That was how far back I got to speak. But when you were saying something about the German Pied Piper, that if you know the music industry, sometimes they'll say yay to a song, and sometimes they'll say, I need you to write this. I need this kind of music. I need you to write this kind of thing. Okay, this was a Barry Hankerson thing. This was what he said. He gave him an idea. He sat down at the piano and his music thing, and he wrote it. But you have to understand, this is coming from, this is coming to a man that is illiterate. So he's saying these words. This is one that he just took as a beat thing, like he told me. It was just something to dance to. He didn't really recognize the how serious.
Yeah, Rob
what
didn't
really
read or write.
Meaning. He couldn't read or write.
Y'all expect him to go study the Dead Sea Scrolls?
Believe it or not.
Right, and he's at the cigar bar shooting pool. Somebody says, hey, man, you should put, Barry Hankerson specifically, says, hey,
right.
You should do this, you know what I mean, and put this in there and do this. Oh, hey, yeah, I'm the R&B Pied Piper. You expected him to go open up the New Testament and, come up with these revelations of what
he don't even know what that means.
Nigga can't read.
Because he said, well, I thought the Pied Piper, because I be in the cigar bar. Would y'all believe that's what he thought? Because of the pipe, the regular pipe out in the cigar, And I said, oh, no. And I kind of giggled. And he said, what's so funny? And I said, I didn't mean to giggle. But no, that's not what it is. And I did have to tell him the truth. But the thing is he's just now realizing the truth about a lot of things. He only went to, let me tell you, right when he got out off of paying child support, that was his first time going to a bank, and he only had $350,000. And when he went to jail, Azriel and her father took everything. The slingshot took everything, even his dog. Hey,
I got a question for you, right? So what? I just want to ask you, what do you think he did wrong? What did he do wrong?
Me, and I told him. I said, "Were you done wrong?" I said, "Your pick of friends. That's for one. Your entourage is all fucked up. They all fucked up. Okay. For two, there's no fucking way you got all this money and you haven't learned how to read and write yet. So I've been on him about that. Now, I've been kind of sending him things to learn, but I told him, there's no fucking way. So because of that, you are going through the shit you're going through right now because you thought that you were too good to sit down and learn how to read, write. You thought that your money was going to continue to take you. You thought that voice was going to continue to take you. I said, well, right now, you notice they're not giving you your voice now. Now, you can probably write something and you can't do shit now. And he said, well, why are you so nasty? I said, because I think it's the dumbest thing in the world. You had enough money, he can get something implanted to help him learn overnight. I said, are you stupid or just dumb? He said, oh. I said, yes, I'm calling you that. I said that, and the third thing, I said, why did you pick all these ugly ass women? I ain't gonna lie, for him to be the sexiest man alive, as they said at one time on the front of time, let me tell you something. These bitches is broke. They are horrible. This is not somebody that you would think somebody of R. Kelly's caliber, and Melrose could agree, would have. I'm sorry. They're
bottom of the barrel.
Am I not right, Lime Melrose?
Yeah, everything you said, to answer the brother's question, everything you said that he did wrong, yeah, I agree with that. And especially the type of women that he chose.
Right.
Especially his wife, you know, she's the worst.
And she was...
But he didn't choose her. He didn't choose her. She was Barry Hankinson's choice.
Right. There you go.
Yes, she was a background dancer, but all right.
Yeah, she was. But
scam, that didn't work. Her parents is bullying. They're not trying to let that work. So now I got to move on because I need to own his children. And as you can see, Barry Hankinson owns his children, owns Rob's children. Because they own his
do you notice how nervous they are when they speak? Like when they're doing interviews and things, do you notice?
I seen an interview where it was his daughter, and she was on code in that interview in regards to I'm not going to throw my father under the bus.
Right, with the white people.
Revelations where she's got off code. I've heard. I haven't really looked too far into it.
Yeah. Well,
can y'all say this? He was so far as what he'd been through in the past. He was fair warned that maybe something like this was coming sooner or later, and he could have stopped while he was ahead.
No, because he wasn't doing nothing. None of these girls
before 2000. He was doing anything you do. Because you know what? Guess what, Sal?
Recording bitches with the phone out, you know what I mean? Sucking
dick. I don't do none of that shit, baby. Yeah, I ain't.
No, well, let me tell you something.
Hey, let's chill on the bitches stuff, though.
No, look, let me tell you something.
We're just not going to disrespect actual dignifiable black women by calling those dots black women because we don't want to conflate and disrespect.
If you would have been their Newstoter, I think you would understand the anguish that me and Melrose had. Because to sit and watch these hoes, these thoughts or whatever, you know, but the same, I'm going to say it like this. The same thing can happen to any man up here. We're having this discussion today, and guess what? Not one bit of evidence, not one of these thoughts got a police report, a rape kit, nothing. Hospital record, nothing. So tomorrow, right, so tomorrow, I'm going to go to the federal government, South, and I'm going to tell them that 7 years ago, you beat me and you kept me in a room, and you're going to jail. That's it. That's it, and that's all. And see, that's where we, as a community, we got to stop that. Because just because we black women, I love my sisters. But guess what? They grimy. Some of them's about the money. And I'm sorry. I'm not going to sit here and let y'all continue to put a brother in there. Now, this is something that I'm going to tell y'all that I shouldn't, but I'm going to say it because I'm tired of hearing it. Okay? After the 2008, R. Kelly was he was getting help. He was on saltpeter. He was not even that sexual anymore. That's how he got married. He's had that under control for so long, it's pathetic. So my thing is he meets people when he has his little after parties, and all you gotta do is take a picture with him, and guess what? There that is. So I'm gonna go tomorrow south, and I'm gonna tell them all the shit you did to me, and when they come and pick you up, and you look me eye to eye, and you ain't never seen me, because R. Kelly said he only know 3 of all these 12 women. 3. And 2 of them was the girlfriends he just lived with. 3.
He was never charged with
Joyce.
Jocelyn.
Yeah, right. She's still hanging in there. You know, she's still hanging in there. Because as talking to her, whether we're together or not, he has done for me. Because see, this is what y'all don't know. Azriel, Clary's father, go unseal his stuff. If you look at his thing, he went to jail and he did time for having sex with Azriel.
That's her stepfather.
Right. Everybody think it's her real one. It's her stepfather. That's why she talks to him like shit. And then every time they have an interview, where's mom? Where is mom?
Let me ask the sisters, are there any sisters in here that want to comment? And we've had a couple sisters that talked about, but that spoke tonight, but are there any sisters in here? Because we're going to be closing the space out soon. So is there any sisters who may have an opinion that they want to speak about this, want to share something, want to talk about it, say this is how I feel, this is what I think, or whatever, then please go ahead and let us know.
I'm begging for anybody, sisters, brothers, anybody. Okay, I'm begging for y'all to come up here now and ask questions. And then after you get the answer, you can hit me up. I have so much evidence, and Newstoter, they just got a little bit of it, and it's too much. But I have so much evidence. I will send it to you. Melrose, I'll send you the first part of the thing that you missed, okay? I'll send you that. The transcript.
I had eventually went back and studied it. I went and got caught up with everything.
Yeah, you know, and it's just sad that they're still not hearing us. Where do y'all have any evidence? You are listening to the very white man that's keeping you down. Because you ain't seen anything. I don't have a police report. I don't have a rape kit. I don't have nothing. Then for them to be rape victims and all this victimizing, I became agoraphobic. I don't know about nobody else, but I can't be like Azriel and let my titties out and things like that. I can't do it. You can't do that stuff right after allegedly being held. I'm sorry, go ahead, sis.
Hold on, we got a hand up, Miss Great. 8, go ahead and unmute your mic.
I wanted to, so I'm continually battling with people about this over the years, people on both sides. And Secret made a point about that R. Kelly would be able to learn something. I didn't know about the reading and the illiteracy, and I don't know if I'm going to talk about that with people because I don't want to make him look bad in that regard. But Secret mentioned
No,
that.
please tell him. No, let people know. He wants everything out because he's letting the truth be seen. So tell him. Now you see how quick you at first you were like at one point, and then slowly as you see, and then he's on saltpeter. His dick wasn't getting up. So who was he fucking? He was going to therapy. Who was he fucking? We have all those records. He don't got herpes. So my thing is like a lot of people just go off of the first thing, and the media know that, you know, people, family, just please use your third eye. We spiritual people. We don't go by this. Y'all got to show me something tangible. That's all I'm saying. Go ahead, sis. I apologize.
No, I hear you. Now, you said he could get something implanted so he could learn overnight. But I didn't understand what you meant by that.
No, it was like I was being facetious, but I'm just saying. This man he's worth $900 million at the time that he was picked up. You can't tell me they making AIs, okay? You can't tell me that they couldn't give him something to rev him up to learning something. You can't tell me that he can't get somebody more trustworthy in the black, because if you notice, everybody around him is black. This is one brother that stays on code. That's one thing I ain't heard no one say. This man got black black bodyguards, black secretary, black
everybody was getting $10,000 a month, $8,000 a month.
And the girls was getting $5,000 every month put into.
I'm not talking about his girlfriends. I'm talking about his black employees. $10,000,
right.
$18,000 a month. All that came out in court.
If you was his friend, you just got it going in your thing for no reason. Just because you walking around with him. And then let's be honest, we in the black community. Now, everybody always got this story. I know somebody in Chicago that said this. R. Kelly plays basketball in the O. In the O. Okay? These niggas, when we went and had to question people, these niggas love Kels. He built things for them. He's done so much. He's paid rent. He even has an organization. This is stuff people don't know. That guess what? If you need help, he just gives it to you. He don't ask you why. He don't ask you nothing. He just signs it. Because you are his people.
Not to cut you off, but you know people are going to say, well, just because people they do good works and good deeds in the community still don't mean that, you know, that they still don't have some severe issues. So, you know, that's going to always be the response that people are going to say, well, yeah, this person did great. This person did this. This person did that. You'll have people say that you got gangbangers and stuff at Thanksgiving time, give out turkeys and give away school supplies and help people with their rent and this and that. Yet at the same time, they're still causing chaos and hell. So, you know, that's going to always be the other side of the coin, right, that people going to try to use and say, well,
I was about to land it, and I was about to land it with this. One thing we do know, I was saying he did all that. And one thing we do know, in jail and in the black community, a rapist does not live long.
Right, DJ, I see you got your hand up, bro. Go ahead.
Yeah, my bad about that. What I was going to say, so you think maybe with the whole reading situation, because, yeah, you worked all this bread, you would have at least had some type of thought, like to get a tutor, at least bare minimum, you know what I mean? But you think this Barry Hankerson guy was like had like a, playing the middleman, like, nah, you don't need to learn how to read, just, with the right music style, whatever, how you want to write it, you know what I mean?
No, that was just his arrogance and not eventually teaching himself and educating himself. That was the lack of good people around him. His wife wasn't shit, and then his arrogance. Like Secret said, "Oh, my money can save me. I'm R. Kelly. I'll just write another hit." His brother Bruce, he gave that example. He was like, "Yo, Rob knew that people were stealing from him, but he was like, nah, just go in the studio and write another hit for me, for somebody else." So that was his arrogance on why he didn't educate himself.
And arrogant, yes, he's arrogant. And I will tell you, he's arrogant and he's hard-headed as fuck. Like, it's a lot of times I had to tell him, well, fuck you, I'm done. If you don't do what I say, then I'm done. Because you're not going to make me look like a fool. You understand? But he is one of those warrior alpha men that he stands on his thing and he say, if you come in my house, this is how it's going to be. And that's it. So if you want to call that being held captive, because he's in a whole nother part of the house, in the studio and all that, doing things. These women be all around the house, okay, doing whatever they want to do. And this is how much he didn't trust them. He had cameras everywhere. We went through, it took almost a year to go through all the tapes of the things. We seen the children playing. I never seen no other kids. I seen his. I seen people coming, going. I seen Jay-Z coming in there. I seen a lot of celebrities. I seen Mary J. I seen DMX. I'm going to be honest. I seen a lot of people come through. We were sitting there like headache-wise, looking for someone that even appeared like a child.
What's that? They played?
Hey, mute your mic, whatever. I think that's Melrose. Sound like you're playing the picket or something. Go ahead, Secret Sister.
But let me say this one thing here. And I don't know if anybody remembers, but back when they had that trial back in 2008 or whatever it was, it's been so long ago. Didn't that one time they was trying to say that the brother was trying to that R. Kelly, the brother claimed that R. Kelly was trying to pay him off so he would admit that he was the one on the tape? I remember that was one of the things that came out. That they were saying that the brother.
Yeah, that was Kerry Kelly, and he's like a crackhead, and Kerry Kelly seems to be really jealous because he did a lot of helping Tasha K. And I was trying to put the video, I touched the little blue thing, and I put the video of Tasha K. When she was met and she seen we only could bring but some. And it changed her whole mind. You understand? And if people want to know, that's fine. But understand, he is a catalyst. And if you turn your back on him, just look at your brother, your father, your son, your husband. They could be next. That's all I'm saying. No, now, is R. Kelly an angel? Fuck no. None of us are. Is R. Kelly freaky? Come on now. You mean to tell me none of us ain't freaky? Bullshit. You getting what I'm saying? I don't know what he do. I don't want to know what he do. But I know, everybody liked it. And then 32 years later, when their bank accounts are empty and he don't have nothing to fill it, and then he wants his publications, come on, it all falls at the same time. And 2 days later, he in jail. He go from, we in the backyard party. We was loving him then. Everybody did the backyard party all them years, all that. And then we let the government tell us one more story. And guess what? Everybody keeps going back to the 2008. I tell you one thing. If the court of law said that a black man is innocent, why can't y'all motherfuckers go with it? He innocent. It was 13 white people that said that ain't him on there. They had moles on there. R. Kelly don't have moles.
Sister,
can I add that?
I'm sorry, who was speaking? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut him off.
I am big.
That was me.
I was just gonna ask sister one thing because I see T.S. Giselle is posting some comments about you, whatever. Do you want the T.S. to come on here so you can ask?
Bring his ass up here. Go ahead, post your comments. You ain't gotta post them. Bring your ass up here.
Bring Adam in.
How long have you been saying if you want something to say, come up here, brother? Have you been saying that how long?
Yeah.
Okay.
T.S., the mic is yours. I see you keep posting these comments and whatnot, so here's the mic.
And what comment did you post? Now I'm right here. You can say it face to face.
So what I said, sweetie, was you have to be smoking the best.
No, wait.
You have to be
First
smoking
of all,
Sister, I'm gonna let you go ahead. You say you wanted TS to come on, so I'm gonna let TS just go ahead and ask the question, and then I'm gonna drop TS back down to listening because I know how things get. So you said that because I saw the comments. TS keeps posting comments, so you said that you want TS to come on here. We'll let TS ask the question or whatever. You can go ahead and respond, but I don't want y'all talking over each other. So let TS go, and then you go. You got okay, secret sister. I know you want to get in, but go ahead and let TS go, and then I'm gonna let you go. So
I just wanted you to tell me what the comments was before she.
Oh, basically just saying you're a weirdo. Saying you're a weirdo for defending R. Kelly.
Okay, gotcha. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I just want to know.
Hold on, mute your mic, niggas. Mute your mics. Hold on a minute. And you also said, why is this even a topic? R. Kelly is a convicted criminal. End of discussion. Black folks always want to reward bad behavior. Shaking my damn head. But now you can go ahead, though.
Yeah, and I just want to know what psych work released you, sweetie, and where did you buy your crack? Because you have to be smoking the best crack to get on here.
All right, man. This is an elder. I know she can handle our home, but chill out, TS, yo. Just go ahead and say what you're gonna say, and don't mention your degrees from Harvard.
No, let him.
You're deranged.
Let this
You're not
silverback. Let him talk.
He's a convicted criminal. He's sexist, misogynist, a pedophile. He is disgusting, the bottom of the barrel. To get up here and defend this man as such, and aren't you married? You're smoking the best crack, sweetie. Melrose, you're a disgrace as well, and anybody that dares defend this man is an absolute disgrace. You're a lunatic, you're delusional, you're deranged, you're just a crazy bitch in general.
Okay, now can I speak? Can I speak, please?
Yes, crackhead, what do you have to say for yourself? You've already embarrassed yourself enough. What more can you do? You've embarrassed black women.
Hold on.
Sister, let me ask you, because she did call you out your name. Do you want me to go ahead and remove TS, or do you want to keep TS in here? Because that was uncalled for. TS did not have to call you out your name. We let the deranged stuff go and the crack stuff go.
Remove.
No, I want sister to let me know if sister wants to go ahead and respond or wants me to just go ahead and remove TS. So that's up to sister right there. So sister, that's up to you.
Oh no, he could stay up here. He could stay up here, and remember,
we want to give you the option.
Because kids like this is a child, and bitch, you only answer to what you are, and that's not what I am. That's why I asked you, my brother, can I speak now? You know what I'm saying? But this silverback gorilla wants to sit up here and say that how crazy I am and how delusional I am. But this nigga is sitting here with a wig, with a fucking billboard back, with a
loose pussy whore that you ever.
Hold up, TS. Mute your mic, nigga. Mute your mic. You had your chance, son. You had your chance. Go ahead, Secret Sister.
He got this
And on your best day, sweetie, face card never decline.
I said, mute your mic, nigga. Mute your mic, man. Mute your mic, nigga.
I had to remove TS from the speaker because TS just gonna go in and whatnot. So just
no, you don't gotta remove him. You don't gotta remove him because when he speaks, I will be quiet. I'm not gonna make it like
TS is not gonna let you speak though. That's the reason why I just.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna speak and then you can
Newstoter, why did you let that grown ass nigga threaten?
No, what I said is I told Secret that we could go ahead and remove right there because I didn't let them do anything. He went ahead and just ran his mouth.
I don't feel safe with that nigga over here making threats, calling me a disgrace. That's a grown ass nigga. I will treat that nigga like a nigga. Like a nigga.
Oh, I mean, you're a grown man. Do what you got to do, bro. I mean, like I say, only reason I allowed TS to come in and speak because I know that the TS was taking shots at Secret, so I wanted Secret Sister to go ahead.
And you know what? And you know what? He could come back up here because this is the thing that I have with people like that. They want to sit and try to make judgment on somebody, but they don't even know what the fuck they are.
No, because I don't want the conversation to get totally derailed. That's the only
reason.
No.
That what I'm saying is on the fact that, and I'm talking from an elder state, okay? Because this is a child. This is a child of mine, okay? Delusional, retarded, all that. No, I'm not. And my husband is awfully fine, okay? I don't have to address my relationship with you at all. My husband thinks you're disgusting. And we think anybody of your character is disgusting, okay? Because for one, we already know that big silverback animals like you that want to be a woman, because you see that picture in here, and then you see my picture, look hard, Beasley, okay? I'm 70. Look at you. And you talking about you can do what on me on my work, getting out the bed. I'm gorgeous. Trust me, I'm gorgeous. I'm 70. And look at me. Just taken months ago. Look at me. So you tell me, you silverback gorilla, okay, why don't you figure out if you want your dick on or if you want your dick off? Because what you won't do, and this is where I don't like gay people like you. You know what I mean? Because you have a vitriol for black women because you can't be us. You remind me of the rest of the world. See, FBA is very talented at everything. And it seems like the whole world hate us because they can't be us. And nigga, you will never be me. No plastic surgeon, and you said you make all this money, and you can't fix that grill. You can't fix that face. Okay? So that's just that. And that's not to make you go and slice your wrist, but go somewhere and pray to see who you are, and what you want to be. Now, you want to sit up here and say all these degrees you have? I have degrees. I am a public figure, and I do. And you can look me up. I have no problem. And if you want, we can have coffee, homie. Because what I do and what I am, I'm also a retired boxer. And men like you, or I love to chew them up and spit them out. I will punch you in your mother effing throat if you ever come up out of your skin and disrespect the elder. Do you understand?
That's my
I don't care what sex you think you are. Anybody, because see, I'm tired of y'all little young motherfuckers on here talking to elders. This is where we getting it all fucked up. We letting kids scare us. I ain't scared of a kid. Bring your gun, I'll bring my fist, and I guarantee you I'll make you eat that motherfucker. But what I won't do is I won't be scared of you.
Let's chill a little bit on that because we know we are on a recorded space, so let's make sure we chill on that. We don't want to get all up into that. So remember, this is a platform that is being recorded, so let's chill on that, y'all.
Okay, or Kelly, I will say, I'm sorry, I will say this.
Secret. Before you go on, let me get to Lawrence, because Lawrence got his hand up.
Oh, I'm sorry, Lawrence. I'm sorry, but free R. Kelly, my brother.
Lawrence, go ahead and unmute your mic.
It's unmuted. What's up, everybody?
What's up now?
What up?
Definitely okay to have differences of opinion on any topic without being condescending and disrespectful to each other, especially our elders. I don't think we should ever approve that. I'm a huge R. Kelly fan. I will forever and always play I Believe I Can Fly, teach it and sing it everywhere I go, and there's somebody to stop me. Bump his music nonstop. However, I do believe that this country has been bamboozled with the Me Too movement. That doesn't mean I believe R. Kelly is innocent. I believe that when white people decided to change the narrative and decided to use this Me Too movement to bring down black pillars, they reached back, not just on R. Kelly, but anybody, they're going to reach back and pull that to the front. Now, we can admit, I think I was in high school, and we saw all that stuff come out. And everybody black was, from the very beginning, people had these tapes and everything else or whatever, and it washed over, and it passed, And I believe that the evidence was overwhelmingly convincing for me. No one has to agree with that. However, when it was over, for me, it was over. And for those who know me, I have a famous family member. And I know how niggas act when they're around people that are famous and they got money. They will sell their own damn toe, you know what I'm saying, just to be in the studio on the red carpet. When my cousin began to get famous, family members started acting like that. They was all damn freaking savages. You know what I'm saying? Tearing each other down, whatever. So I'm not surprised that parents will put their kids on airplanes, no matter how old they are. Girl, that's what I'm telling you. Get your ass on the airplane. He's paying for it too. Just not even on for the money, but for the fame and the limelight to say they know this person, to be around it. People go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, and bananas when this stuff happens. If R. Kelly is being charged and convicted all over again, then those parents are complicit in all of this. You know what I'm saying? No one put their daughters on that plane but them. Your daughter 15, 16 years old, and R. Kelly is a grown-ass man. I don't care if they were 17, 18, 19. R. Kelly was a grown-ass man. Why you putting your daughter on these planes to go by themselves to a grown-ass man in the studio? Greedy-ass, broke-ass parents were a part of that. When the checks stopped and these white people approached them, where they can get more fame and money and attention, then they act like some type of damn victim, but you weren't a victim 10, 20, 30 years ago. You know what I'm saying? You was rocking with it and defending him. So the parents are equally as guilty. For me, this is just me. If the first time y'all didn't convict this man, the evidence hadn't changed. Nothing has changed. If y'all didn't sell him down the hill the first time, to allow a Me Too movie to come around the second time, and I know it's not because of what he may have done, but it's because he is a pillar. For me, I am on the free R. Kelly side. Not that I don't think he should not pay some type of price. However, the reason is white supremacy. The reason behind Bill Cosby is white supremacy. He didn't touch a damn. You don't got to rape no grown-ass women when you are rich and Bill Cosby. You know what I'm saying? And you could, if you wanted to, you could buy whoever the hell you wanted at that time. It was rich, Bill Cosby. We called them tour bus whores. That's what that was. So the fact that it's white supremacy is the reason for this, for me, is the reason why I can't sit comfortable with it. If it happened the first time and these tape comes out and he's on there talking about give me that 15-year-old for JJ, okay, bye nigga. But that's not the reason why they did it. That's not the reason why they did it. That's why I believe I could fly any chance I get. You know what I'm saying? I ain't stopping. So once again, as I land my plane, we all in all these spaces, you know, we got to respect each other. And T.S. Giselle, I'll be rocking with you in the spaces, but you can't prove everybody right because you came in here like a hurricane and no one said anything to you. You know what I'm saying? So I land my plane on that.
No doubt, no doubt, no doubt. Thank you once again, Lawrence, for coming through. Let me just say, y'all, we're going to get ready to wrap this.
Lawrence.
We're going to wrap this space up because we've been going about this long. So I'm going to go ahead and let Sister, I'm going to let Melrose go ahead and get their last saying. Y'all try to keep this to a minute. I know y'all go in and whatnot, but try to keep this to a minute. Let's go in, and then we're gonna let the co-host and the host go ahead and wrap it up for the night. So, Secret, you go first, make it a minute. Melrose, you go next, make it a minute. DJ and Ray, and then I'm gonna go ahead and news. So I forgot to tell y'all tonight too. Also, if you can, please contribute on Cash App $Newstoter. That is $Newstoter. $Newstoter, the largest curator today of Black news today in America. That is newstoter.com. Y'all make sure y'all visit newstoter.com daily. Over 30, 40 Black sources that we curate news from. So make sure that you support us because we support Black-owned business. That is newstoter.com. If you're in this spot and you're not following the host and co-host, please make sure you follow all three of us. Secret Sister, go ahead, sister, and please try to keep it at a minimum, my sister.
Okay, I will. I just want to say, Lawrence, thank you, my brother. Thank you very much. That was well put. Thank you, Melrose, for helping me out up here, not leaving me hanging, because it just seemed like nobody wants to gather common sense. But what I want to say to all my brothers, okay, I have been, from the beginning of my life, been fighting for my men, okay? And I will forever fight for my men, all right? And R. Kelly, whether we want to say it or not, that is your FBA brother. And for that, you can't not like him because the white man said don't like him. Then be backyard partying and all the rest of his music. 32 years we went, okay? And then all of a sudden this come up and you re-hate him again? Come on. Think, people. That's all I'm going to say. Like R. Kelly say, you know what I mean? Use your common sense. And I'm with you, Lawrence, okay? I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. I think about it every night and day. Spread my wings and fly away. Up to you, Lawrence. And I started following you, Lawrence. I want to talk to you, so follow me back.
All right, Melrose, thank you, sister. Thank you. Melrose, you go ahead and get your say in there, brother.
Man, hold on, Secret Sister with the fire, yo. Hold on a second, man. That was fire right there, Secret Sister. The voice, you know what I mean?
Thank you.
Yeah, real quick, I want to say peace to Newstoter, peace to DJ, peace to Ray, peace to Secret, peace to all the speakers that came in here, even those that believed all the TV magic that they saw that really wasn't real. Peace to everybody except for that nigga T.S. Giselle that's been in the room. And I just want to say, like in the great words of R. Kelly, use your common sense. And I just want to take 45 seconds out of y'all time to just play this great tune from R. Kelly. Participants aren't victims.
you to ever sweat the next bitch. With speed, I make the next bitch see the exit. Then you gotta know you're thoroughly respected. I mean, you get the keys to the Lexus. But no ride, you get your own 2002. Hit the ride, keep your ass tight on the Versace. That's how you gotta watch it when you gotta watch me. They connive and shit. I just wanna freak your body, yaddy, yaddy. No, you don't do this for everybody.
All right, Melrose. I know we got the music going. Not to cut you off, brother, but I was gonna we just trying to go ahead and unwind this thing. So
yeah,
I appreciate you
definitely. Copyright strike later on down the line too on the two. So, yeah. But yeah, fire.
No, he ain't gonna copyright it. Kel's already let people.
No. A YouTube copyright strike. A YouTube copyright strike is when it's get played back on YouTube, they might hit a little beat playing and might try to, so you will leave it there for that one though. But good selection, Melrose.
Yeah, Ray, you got something you want to add before we go ahead and close it out, bro?
I'm good, brother. I'm gonna see you guys on the next one.
Yeah, all I'll say is real quick is that them chicks that supposedly was quoting Bill Cosby saying that they did the way they look, they on some T.S. Giselle shit. So I don't see how Bill Cosby doing that compared to what Bill Cosby looked like. Just keep it real. You feel what I'm saying? So all year there, reparations up. Black people want love. You know what I mean?
I can't take these things.
Let me go ahead and just mute everybody just real quick and just go ahead and say thank you to the space once again. Thank you to Secret Sister, Melrose, Lawrence, all the speakers that came out and whatnot. We definitely had a nice conversation tonight. I know everybody don't agree with what was said tonight. We try to remain as neutral as possible, let everybody come in and say what they had to say. So once again, thank you guys for coming in. We appreciate it. We appreciate you supporting this Twitter Spaces as well as the platform. Like I say, make sure y'all get to Newstoter.com daily. Check out the actual content on the site. Make sure you guys, if you're on the site, that you go ahead and you make sure that you your pop-up blocker, that you go ahead and disable that in case some of your browsers may not be able to read the entire article. So thank you guys for supporting the space as well. Support the New Black Media. Support us on Cash App, $Newstoter. Make sure you're following us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. Appreciate everybody that came out. Our normal time on Monday through Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we will be back tomorrow. We'll have another nice discussion going on, and I'm glad that everybody could go ahead and get their 2 cents in tonight. So we'll see you guys tomorrow, and y'all have a good night.
Peace, love, reparations.